Chapter 2253. A girl in a black trench coat stood at the door. She was beautiful and had dimples on her face. When Huamin saw her, he almost cried. Yin. Huamin felt his voice tremble. "Come on, give me a hug." Lu Yin ran over and gave Huamin a bear hug. The two sisters had only met a few times, but Lu Yan's scent was familiar to Huamin. Perhaps this was the tacit understanding between blood-related sisters. Because of Lu Yan's status, Qin Shu asked Qin Ning to bring her parents, Huamin's mother, and his brother to another private room to watch the New Year's gala. Qin Shu, Huamin, and the twins stayed in a private room to eat with Lu Yan. "Yan, why are you?" Lu Yan's arrival was so sudden that Huamin was not prepared for it. This was a big surprise. I was going to come with my dad, but he's a stubborn person. He thought that if I came with him and got caught by that big psycho Ian, I'd be dead meat. So, even though I really wanted to come, I didn't. But it's okay. Next year, I'll drag my dad here to accompany you. Lu Yan's tone was always domineering. Maybe it had something to do with her personality or her profession, but she was the kind of woman with a strong aura. "I'm happy that you're here, but won't you be in danger if you come alone? Don't put yourself in danger just to keep me company." Huamian was always worried about Lu Yin and worried about her. "I didn't come alone. If you didn't mention it, I would have forgotten." Then Lu Yin turned around and yelled at the person at the door, "Psycho Qiao, come here. I'll introduce you to my sister." Lu Yan's call of Psycho Qiao attracted everyone's attention. Huamin looked up and saw a man with short silver hair standing at the door. He looked very young, wearing a dark blue Russian-style military uniform, standing there with a straight face. The man's face was expressionless, but his eyes were unusually good-looking. He looked a bit like a character from an anime. "Wow, that guy is so handsome," Little Bean exclaimed as she held the tiramisu in her hand. "This is the first time I've seen someone like him. His aura is so cold, even colder than Daddy's." Pudding agreed with her sister. Hearing Lu Yan's words, the man walked over slowly. "Sister, brother-in-law." Xiao Fei nodded politely. This is... Huamin didn't know much about Lu Yan and her dad. However, Qin Shu knew a thing or two about it, because he had operated on Xiao Fei in Moscow and removed the bullet. "Xiao Fei." Lu Yan introduced him with a smile. "Oh, I remember now. He's your boyfriend, right?" Huamin suddenly remembered that Xiao Yan had a boyfriend in Russia. He seemed to be very powerful. "Sister, I'm not her boyfriend. I'm her fiancé." Xiao Fei corrected her with a straight face. "Huamin, hey, why are you so stubborn? If he's your boyfriend, then he's your fiancé. Why are you so serious with my sister?" Lu Yan pinched Xiao Fei. "They're completely different. Boyfriend means we're in a relationship, and our relationship isn't stable yet. Fiancé means we're about to get married and only need a wedding," Xiao Fei explained. Chapter 2254. My bad. Yes, he's fiancé. Are you guys getting married? Huamin thought that his sister was still young and couldn't be getting married so soon. "No, sis, don't listen to him. We don't have plans for a wedding yet. How can we call ourselves a family if we don't get rid of Ian?" Lu Yin sighed slightly. Huamin heard Ian's name again, a man that even a fugitive like Yin had to be careful of must be a ruthless character, right? "Everyone sit down, don't just stand there," Qin Shu said. Then the four of them sat down. The twins were no longer in the mood to watch the fireworks. They ran over to Huamin and Qin Shu and peeked at Lu Yan. "Mommy, this Annie came to our house last time. Pudding always had a good memory." "Pudding, you still remember me?" Lu Yan was overjoyed. "Auntie, don't you remember me as Pudding?" Lu Yan smiled and picked up Pudding, who was closest to her, with great strength. "Pudding, call me Annie. Annie, Happy New Year." Pudding, who was always arrogant, called her Annie obediently. Pudding was second only to Pudding. Lu Yan took out a red envelope from her bag and stuffed it into Pudding's hand. "Take it. It looks pretty thin. Auntie, you're a little stingy. Is there only 100 yuan in it?" Pudding, who was used to receiving red envelopes with cash, felt the envelope and knew that there wasn't much inside. In fact, there was only one red envelope. The biggest currency in China was 100 yuan. Even in US dollars, 100 yuan was only 600 yuan. Pudding thought that this Annie wasn't an ordinary person and wouldn't be so stingy. Lu Yin put down Pudding calmly and waved at Pudding. Pudding, come here. Do you want a red envelope? Yes, yes. Check it out. I'll take it even if it's 100 yuan. I could buy ice cream with 100 yuan. Little Bean climbed down from Qin Shu's lap and ran into Lu Yan's arms. Before Lu Yan could say anything, Pudding kissed Lu Yan's cheek. Happy New Year, Ani. Good luck. Good fortune. Pudding and Little Bean both thought that such a New Year's greeting sounded stupid, but he still had to say it. After all, adults like to hear it. Lu Yan took out another red envelope and stuffed it into Little Bean's hand. It was also very thin like Pudding's. Open it and see. Lu Yan smiled mysteriously. Little Bean and Pudding looked at each other and slowly opened the red envelope. Damn. International check. Because Huamin and Qin Shu often used it, the two little guys knew what it was. 8 million. Pudding was also dumbfounded. Huamin was shocked and immediately scolded. Quickly take it back to Ani. You're not allowed to take it. Huamin thought Lu Yan would only give the kids a red packet of 800 to 1,000 yuan, or 10,000 US dollars at most. The last time they went to America, Qin Ning had prepared 1,000 US dollars. Even Huamin thought it was too much. After all, they were only 3 years old and didn't have a strong sense of control over money. Although Pudding liked to invest in stocks, she was only in charge of controlling them and couldn't withdraw the money. Sis, it's for the kids. Don't be so polite with me. I'm not being polite. It's too much. Yen. That's 8 million yuan. The two kids are more than 10 million yuan. Are you crazy? Huamin strongly objected. Take it, sis. Lu Yin is very rich. Xiao Fei said quietly. Chapter 2255. Damn it. If I spent all my money, I'd definitely ask you for more. You're just a bystander. Lu Yin turned her head and scolded Xiao Fei. No problem. If you marry me, all my money will be yours. Xiao Fei was ready to force her to marry him. Lu Yin was speechless. Ahem. Sis, this is a token of my sincerity. Even though Psycho Xiao accidentally revealed my financial situation, he wasn't wrong. I am indeed very rich. This is a token of my sincerity for the babies. Take it. What's the point of letting them study abroad? Auntie, this money is enough for us to study on the moon. Pudding exclaimed. That's right. We'll go there on a rocket and come back on a rocket. Bio. Pudding imitated the action of a rocket. It made the adults laugh. During dinner, Qin Shu raised his glass and said, Thank you for coming to celebrate Chinese New Year with us. Your sister is in a good mood today, don't mention it. Brother-in-law, we're family. Lu Yin smiled. Brother-in-law, I heard that the surgery you performed on me was very difficult. Thank you for your hard work. Xiao Fei respected Qin Shu very much. He grew up in a military family and was the king of Russia. He was also a tyrant internationally. Xiao Fei had never been afraid of him. Other than Lu Yin, he admired Qin Shu the most. If it weren't for Qin Shu, he would have been a corpse by now. We're family. You guys must have come a long way. Eat more. Qin Shu's wish was to secretly help Huamin find his family. Now that Lu Yin was here, he was slowly helping her realize her wish. Yin Xiao Fei. Eat, eat. Huamin was very enthusiastic and kept putting food on Lu Yan's plate. It was obvious that she was very happy. The four of them drank 6 or 7 bottles of red wine. Lu Yan's alcohol tolerance was high enough that she wouldn't get drunk. Xiao Fei was born in Russia, so he was also a wine god. On the other hand, Qin Shu and Huamin were a little tipsy. After the four of them finished eating, they walked to the observation deck. The fireworks outside were still going off. Looking at such a gorgeous night, Huamin suddenly felt like he was dreaming. Qin Shu took Xiao Fei to the other side. The two men had a lot to talk about. Qin Shu knew that he would need the Qiao family's help if he wanted to deal with Ian and Huasiqian. The twins went to another room and kowtowed to their grandparents to ask for red packets. Huamin and Lu Yin stood alone on the balcony. Leaning against the railing, they looked at the mesmerizing night sky. Huamin suddenly grabbed Lu Yan's hand tightly. Sis. Lu Yin was touched. Yin, I feel like I'm in a dream. It's so unreal. I've been restless the whole day. Every festive season, I miss my family. I suddenly miss your dad. so much. I really want you guys to be by my side. Me too. All these years, ever since I found out that I had a sister, I've been trying to find ways to see you. If it wasn't for that damn Ian, Dad would have come. Actually, Dad and I haven't spent the new year together for years. It's extremely difficult to even see each other. Dad has a lot of things to do, and most of the time he's hiding in the lab and refusing to come out. I've traveled all over the world by myself and seen different things. Lu Yin looked into the distance and said word by word, "Yin, it's so good to see you." Huamin hugged Lu Yan's shoulder tightly. Chapter 2256. The two sisters loved each other dearly. Ever since Huamin found out about Lu Yan's existence, he had been thinking about her. He even dreamed of living a simple and peaceful life with Lu Yan. Like all the other sisters in the world, they could go shopping, eat, watch movies, drink tea, travel, etc. Sis, as long as I'm alive, I'll protect you forever. Because I'm strong, I have to protect the people I love the most. You and Dad are the most important people in my heart, and so are the twins. I won't let anyone hurt you. Lu Yin said quietly. Yin, have you thought about it? Can't you be an employee for the rest of your life? When do you want to leave that world? Huamin asked softly. Lu Yan's eyes dimmed slightly. Sis, I've never liked this industry, this world, but I can't help it. In this world, a lot of things don't go the way you want them to. I've been tired for a long time. I have a lot of money, a lot of excellent subordinates, a lot of loyal friends, and Psycho Qiao is loyal to me. But as long as Ian isn't dead, I can't leave. He chased after me and Dad for so many years, and he refused to let go. Maybe everything will only end when Dad and I die. It's the new year. Don't say such inauspicious things. Huamin immediately interrupted Lu Yan. Anyway, you don't have to worry. Ian's death is the end of everything. When Ian dies, everything will end, and we'll go find Mom. Then, our family will be together forever. Sis, let me tell you, I've saved up a lot of US dollars, gold bars, diamonds, and antiques. That money is enough for us to spend for a few lifetimes. I also have a private island in the South Pacific. It's like spring there all year round. It's my home base. You guys can go there with me, and we'll live a peaceful life. Okay. Huamin nodded. Lu Yin described a very idealistic life, but Huamin knew that reality was very realistic. Dreams were plentiful, but reality was bony. In front of these beautiful lives, there were unknown difficulties and bumps. One Ian might be able to destroy all of them about Ian, the Nalo brothers, the terrorist organization, and their relationship with Huasiqian. Huamin knew very little, but she knew that these were things that she might have to face in the future. She wouldn't let Xiaoyan and her father face those things while she hid and enjoyed the peace they had fought for with their lives. At midnight, the waiter served the cooked dumplings. According to the rules of the North, the dumplings had to contain a gold coin. No matter how many people there were in the house, only one would be placed. They wanted to see who was the most fortunate one. Both adults and children would look forward to it. It had been many years since Xiao Fei and Lu Yan had eaten dumplings that tasted so traditional. Little Bean ate 4 in a row and was already full. However, she didn't want to give up and continued eating because she didn't get any gold coins. Pudding was in a good mood. She ate 3 and stopped eating after she was full. She took out her phone and sent a WeChat message to Su Yu to wish him a happy new year. At this moment, Huamin suddenly felt something pressing against his teeth. After frowning slightly, she spat out a gold coin. It landed on the dining table with a clang. Mommy got it again. It's so weird. Little Bean pouted, unwilling to accept it. Why again? Does your mommy get the lottery every year? Lu Yin pinched Little Bean's face with a smile. Chapter 2257. That's right. Every year it's Mommy. Oh my God, I'm not convinced. Mommy, are you cheating? Little Bean looked at Huamin with dissatisfaction. Huamin asked innocently, how do I cheat? You are those contact lenses that can see through things. Then you eat whichever dumpling you see has a gold coin in it. Ha! Do you think Mommy is Sun Wukong? You have sharp eyes. Huamin laughed so hard that he was convulsing. Seriously? It's only been 4 years since I came to this world, and Mommy has been hogging me for the past 4 years. Little Bean was very unhappy. It means your mommy is lucky. Chin-Shu comforted his daughter with a smile. Daddy, you always favor Mommy. Humph. Little Bean, it's okay. Let me tell you, you can use the 8 million to buy a lot of gold coins. Put a gold coin in each dumpling, and you'll never miss. Lu Yin suggested. Little Bean, okay, Annie, you win. Little Bean thought she was a weirdo, but her Annie was even weirder than them. Just then, the ending song of the Spring Festival Gala was playing on the TV. The stars sang Loving Family. Look, is that Uncle and Young? Little Bean's attention was immediately attracted by the people on the TV. Pudding stopped playing with her phone and looked up at the TV. And Young took the lead in singing Loving Family. The lyrics were warm and touching. It was the first time Lu Yin had watched a boring gala so attentively. And Yang's voice was very pleasant to the ears and was very recognizable. So when he opened his mouth, everyone was stunned. I like the warm lights waiting for me when I come home. I like the smiles on everyone's faces when I wake up. I like to work hard for my family and my dreams when I leave the house. I like being a family, looking in one direction with my heart. Huomin instantly resonated with the song and started singing along unconsciously. Because we are a family that loves each other. We should share our blessings and share our misfortunes. We should exchange our friendship for eternity. When Huomin finished listening to the song, he turned around and found that Lu Yin and Xiao Fei were gone. Where's Yin? Huomin stood up in a panic. Chin-Shu immediately came over and hugged her to comfort her. They just left. They didn't dare to say goodbye to you. They were afraid that you would cry. Hearing that Lu Yin had left, Huomin burst into tears. Like a child, Lu Yin doesn't feel good about it either. But you know they had no choice. It's already very risky for them to enter the country together. The helicopter is waiting for them outside. I know. I just can't bear to. Huomin sobbed as he spoke. His voice was choked with sobs. I promise you they'll find a way to solve this as soon as possible. In the future, Lu Yin and the professor can come and see you whenever they want. Okay? Chin-Shu comforted Huomin patiently, as if he was talking to a child. Mommy, don't cry. Andy said, she'll come and see us again. Little Bean comforted her. Mommy, when we have time, we'll go to Russia to see Andy. Pudding also held onto Huomin's hand. Huomin tried to suppress the sadness in her heart and wiped away her tears. She looked at the time on her phone. It was already past midnight. The twins looked tired. Honey, take the girls back to bed. I'll clean up and come to you guys in a bit. Okay, get ready. Okay. Huomin nodded and went to the dressing room to wash her face. Chin-Shu took the twins to bed. Her phone kept ringing with red packets from her friends and the lucky ones from the group chat. But at this moment, Huomin was in no mood. For the first time, she wanted Lu Yin to stay so badly. Chapter 2258. She didn't expect that when she left, she didn't even have time to say goodbye to her. Lu Yin and Xiao Fei left as quickly as they came. Other than Chin-Shu and his family, no one else saw them. It was as if it was really a dream. 20 minutes later, Huomin washed his face and removed his makeup. Then, he walked out in a bathrobe. He had a glass of red wine in his hand. He saw Zhixin coming back from watching the fireworks. Sis, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Huh? Sis, what's wrong? Your eyes are red. Did someone bully you? No one. Did my nieces make you angry again? Zhixin asked worriedly. No, it's just that I'm old and think a lot. I always think about the unhappy things in the past. Huomin found an excuse and didn't mention Lu Yin. After all, Zhixin didn't know about his sister's identity. I assist you really? You scare me to death. I thought something was wrong. Let's go. I'll drink with you. Before Huomin could say anything, Zhixin pulled Huomin to the observation deck and poured himself a glass of red wine. He was in such a good mood. Sis, this is for you. Zhixin handed over a small black box. What's this? Huomin picked up the box curiously. Last time, the company sent me to South Africa on a business trip. I bought on the way. They produce diamonds, and the quality is pretty good, so I bought one for you. Huomin put down the wine glass in his hand and opened it to see a diamond brooch. It was in the shape of a plum blossom. Each petal was decorated with a sparkling diamond. "Oh my God, you're rich. Where did you get so much money?" Huamin was surprised. "It's not that expensive, only a few $100,000. My year-end bonus for the second half of the year is over $200,000. Sis, don't underestimate me." Jixin smiled as he picked up the wine glass and took a sip. Huamin was touched. He picked up the brooch and pinned it on his bathrobe. "This New Year's gift is very good. I like it very much." Huamin smiled. "Sis, thank you for everything you've done for our family all these years. I'll always love you and the twins. What about your brother-in-law?" Huamin asked jokingly. At the mention of Qin Shu, Jixin's gaze became unnatural. "Sis, you really love my brother-in-law, don't you?" Jixin asked in all seriousness. "Duh. If I didn't love him, how could I marry him and give birth to 2 kids for him?" Huamin laughed, thinking that Jixin's question was meaningless. "Then if, and I'm saying if, one day you find out that my brother-in-law betrayed you, what would you do?" Jixin asked again. "Betray me? I've never thought about this before. What's wrong? Did you find out that your brother-in-law has a mistress?" Huamin deliberately asked him with a smile. "Sis, don't be so cheeky. I'm serious." "Why do you have to be so serious about something that can't happen?" Huamin disagreed. "Are you that confident in my brother-in-law?" "What if? I'm saying what if he disappoints you? What if he's hiding something from you?" Jixin looked at his sister nervously. "Jixin, did you find out something?" Finally, Huamin stopped smiling and looked at Jixin with all seriousness. This was because her younger brother had never been a person who was willing to worry and think too much. So, he must have found something since he kept bringing it up. "Sis, the truth is, I don't know how to say it. I've been keeping it to myself for a long time. I don't want to affect your relationship with my brother-in-law. If I don't say it, you'll be sad." Jixin lowered his head, conflicted. Chapter 2259. "It's that serious? Then all the more reason to say it." Huamin said half-jokingly. "Sis, I don't even know how to say it. I actually—" "Stop dawdling, Jixin, your man, okay? Be decisive. I'm your sister." Although Huamin loved Jixin, he knew that Jixin had a weakness in his personality, and that was that he was indecisive. Whether it was in his work, personal life, or personal life, he wasn't decisive enough. That was why he still hadn't won Bella's heart, and that was why Huamin had a headache. "Then I'll say it, sis." Jixin carefully observed his sister's expression. "Okay, say it, I can handle it. Even if you say that your brother-in-law has a mistress outside, I can still handle it." Huamin crossed his arms in front of his chest. Then he looked at Jixin and smiled. "Sis, I really think that my brother-in-law has a mistress outside, right?" Jixin said uncertainly. "How did you know?" Huamin asked calmly. "Once, I woke up in the middle of the night and overheard my brother-in-law talking on the phone. The gist of it was that you can't let Huamin know about this. Also, from his expression, it seemed to be very important, and he was afraid that you would know. We all know how much my brother-in-law loves you these past few years, and he would never hide anything from you. So I'm sure." Jixin deliberately paused here. "So, you're sure that Qin Chu has a mistress behind my back?" Huamin asked on behalf of Jixin. Jixin nodded, his heart heavy. But your brother-in-law is with me every day. Where would he have time to have a mistress? I have all of his bank cards, and I know every single one of them." Huamin smiled disapprovingly. "Sis, don't let love get to your head, okay? My brother-in-law is young, handsome, and rich. It's normal for women to have feelings for him. Plus, he's not with you every day." Jixin mumbled quietly. He comes back every night. I'm sure of that. He doesn't even go on business trips anymore." Huamin defended Qin Chu. "But before he came back, you guys were separated for 4 years." Jixin couldn't help but correct him. Suddenly, Huamin fell silent. "Sis, it's not that I doubt brother-in-law's character, but sometimes people change according to their environment. Brother-in-law was in Migua for 4 years, and he traveled from city to city. How do you know that he didn't have a woman by his side? Maybe there's a story behind it. Brother-in-law is a human, not a god, and humans make mistakes. I think it's understandable if it was a one-night stand or if he couldn't control himself. After all, You guys have been married for so many years, and you've even had 2 children. But if that woman is still in contact with him, and you're still in the dark, I think it's unfair to you. After all, you love him so much. I even think that sometimes your love for him is even greater than his love for you. You've endured these 4 years alone, and you've held onto the friendship from when you were young, ignoring Suyu's love and care. How many women in the world can do that? Jishin, I'm not as good as you make me out to be. Plus, when it comes to love, you shouldn't care about whether it's fair or not. Your brother-in-law loves me to the core. Maybe it's because of his personality, but there are a lot of things that he doesn't say, and he puts his actions into action. I'm not an idiot. I can tell if he's sincere or not. Sis, there's something wrong with what we're saying. It's not like that. I don't doubt that brother-in-law doesn't love you, and I'm not saying that he's pretending to love you. I just think that he's hiding something from you. Plus, he called you so sneakily and stressed that he wouldn't let you know. I think there's something fishy going on here. When did you hear that? Hwamin asked calmly. Chapter 2260. It's been a long time. I wanted to tell you a long time ago, but I don't know what to do. I'll regret it if I tell you, and I'll regret it if I don't. Jishin was still struggling. It's okay. I'll be careful if you tell me. Sis, why don't you ask Qinning? She's been in the States all this time, so she'll definitely know something. Jishin suggested. Jishin, who else did you tell about this? Does Mom know? Of course not. I wouldn't tell anyone. Plus, I don't know what happened, and I don't want to wrong my brother-in-law, so I just wanted to tell you. Okay, good. Don't tell anyone about this. I know what to do, and I'll take care of it. Okay, sis, I believe you. You and Bella haven't made any progress yet. Hwamin asked. Jishin scratched his head. Bella's personality. I don't want to confess. I don't want to lose her as a friend and colleague. You're not as good as N.I. Yang in this aspect. Look at him. He's about to get married, but you're not even close. You can't compare sis N.I. Yang's a celebrity, but you're still President Qin's brother-in-law. Hwamin retorted. Haha, okay sis, you win. President Qin's brother-in-law. That's a tempting title. Jishin laughed. Okay, go to bed. It's late. After Hwamin and Jishin parted ways, they went straight back to their suite. In order to improve their relationship with the twins, Qin Chu and Hwamin reserved a super large suite in the hotel. The family of 4 lived together. It was warm and romantic, and there was also private space. When Hwamin went back, it was already 2 in the morning. The twins were already asleep, and Qin Chu was still working at his desk. Wow, Mr. Qin, you're still working on New Year's Eve. Hwamin chuckled. You're back? You must be very tired. Go take a bath and sleep. Qin Chu said, feeling sorry for Hwamin. He got up and opened the bathroom door to fill the bath with hot water for Hwamin. Hwamian couldn't believe that Mr. Qin would do anything to betray her as she watched him run around trying to help her. She wouldn't believe him either, but Jishin wasn't someone who would lie. There was no way Mr. Qin would make up that story for no reason. That meant that Mr. Qin was indeed hiding something important from him. And it sounded like something important. Hwamin analyzed calmly, but he didn't say anything. He didn't ask Qin Chu or Qin Ning, because with Qin Ning's intelligence, she would tell Qin Chu if he asked. Then, it would be even more troublesome. New Year's Eve came to an end. Lu Yan's sudden return made Hwamin very happy. When Lu Yan left in a hurry, Hwamin was in a daze. After all these years, he finally found out about his identity and that his father and sister were still alive. But he couldn't see them whenever he wanted. It was clear that money wasn't everything. Sometimes, Hwamin even thought that he didn't want his current identity and status. He just wanted to be an ordinary person. He had an ordinary but harmonious family with his husband, daughter, mother, brother, parents-in-law, father, a sister. The days after New Year's Eve flew by. Qin Chu and Hwamin returned to Sea City to work. In the blink of an eye, it was the 8th day of the first lunar month. On the day of N.I. Yang's wedding, everyone arrived early in the morning. Suyu, Wei Liao, Jiang Xiaowei's family, Gao Ran, Zhu Lingling's family, and Tang Chuan hadn't left this week. They flirted with Qin Ning every day. Qin Ning had planned to leave on the 3rd day of the first lunar month. But now, she didn't mention anything about going back to the States. Qin Shu and Huamin got up early to take care of the banquet and guests. And Ai Yang's wedding began a few days before the new year. "Look, who's here?" Tang Chuan pointed at the door and made a fuss. Chapter 2261. After Tang Chuan finished speaking, everyone looked up and saw Shun Mingxi and Hui Yinyan walking in. Shun Mingxi was wearing a black slim-fit suit, while Hui Yinyan was wearing an orange evening gown with exquisite makeup on her face. One had to admit that Hui Yinyan looked good in her makeup. However, Hui Yinyan gave Hua Min a sense of distance. This was the first time Hua Min saw Hui Yinyan since the kidnapping. It felt like a lifetime ago. Why are they here too? Jiang Xiaowei was surprised. Ever since Shun Mingxi and Wei Ying divorced, the Shun and Wei families have been on bad terms. In private, Wei Liao and Shun Mingxi's relationship wasn't as good as before, and Su Yu is sometimes in a difficult position. Young Master Shun is so close to Lord Su, and Ai Yang is the big brother of Imperial Star. How can he not come? Tang Chuan interrupted. As the hosts, Qin Shu and Huamin walked up to greet them. After greeting Shun Mingxi, Huamin glanced at Hua Yinyan with a complicated expression. "Yinyan, long time no see." "Yeah, long time no see. Where are Pudding and Lil Bean?" Hua Yinyan asked with a smile. "They're today's flower girls. They're preparing for the wedding." "Where's Tian Tian?" Huamin asked. "Tian Tian has piano lessons today, so she didn't come." Hua Yinyan's face was brimming with confidence. It was obvious that she was living a good life. Naturally, her arm was wrapped around Shun Mingxi's. They looked so intimate that anyone could tell what their relationship was. After a few simple pleasantries, Huamin welcomed them in. Shun Mingxi walked over with Hui Yinyan and greeted Su Yu and the others. During the whole process, Wei Liao's face was very ugly. He had always been a calm person, but this time, he really didn't give him any face. "Young Master Shun, how long has it been since your divorce? Are you already showing off your new bride?" Wei Liao said coldly. Jiang Xiaowei also looked at her husband in surprise. She didn't expect him to say such a thing. Shun Mingxi glanced at Wei Liao with a complicated look in his eyes. "It has nothing to do with how long we've been divorced. I don't think I'm showing off. Yin is my girlfriend. I can't avoid bringing her out to meet people. Mr. Wei, you don't have to think too much about it. But you're doing this just to embarrass the Wei family. How can I not think too much about it? Ying is sincere to you. If you don't like her, you don't have to marry her. Why do you have to marry her and let her down? Now you're showing off on purpose. I think young Master Shun is purposely going against the Wei family. Old Wei, you're thinking too much." Tang Chuan tried to persuade him. "This is our private matter. Don't worry about it. Go do what you need to do." Wei Liao pulled a long face for the first time. Not only did he not give face to Tang Chuan, but he also didn't give face to Su Yu. His words shut Su Yu up. Su Yu seemed to understand Wei Liao's temper. He didn't say anything and just looked at him quietly. Zhu Lingling whispered into Jiang Xiaowei's ear, "Your husband is angry. This is the first time I've seen him angry. It's the first time I've seen it. It's pretty scary." Jiang Xiaowei had been married to Wei Liao for years, and Wei Yunshu was already 4 years old, but she had never seen him so angry. It was obvious that he cared a lot about Shun Mingxi and Wei Ying. "Young Master Wei, you don't have to be so harsh. Love is about mutual love. Mingxi and your sister's fate is over. Why do you have to force it?" Hui Yinyan looked at Wei Liao and retorted, "You're the mistress. You have no right to speak here. You've brought shame to the Hua family." Wei Liao looked at Hui Yinyan contemptuously. The word mistress was extremely derogatory. Hui Yinyan's face changed as soon as she heard it. Chapter 2262. Young Master Wei, you don't have to lower yourself to a woman's level. Don't make yourself seem petty. So petty people like to burn bridges after crossing the river and find a mistress after using the first wife, right? Wei Liao retorted. Shun Mingxi stared at Wei Liao for a while before he finally said calmly, "Things between me and your sister aren't as simple as you think they are. If you have the chance, you should ask her what she did in the Shun family after she got married. I won't say anything else. Today, I'm here to congratulate Lord Su. After all, it's an artist's wedding, so I don't want to cause any trouble. Excuse me, everyone. After Shun Mingxi finished speaking, he turned around and left with Hua Yinyan. Wei Liao was so angry that his face turned pale. Honey, are you okay? This was the first time that Jiang Xiaowei saw Wei Liao so angry. Jiang Xiaowei's heart ached. If it were someone else, she would have already gone to help her husband. Jiang Xiaowei's scolding skills were on par with Hua Min's. However, Shun Mingxi was Lord Su's buddy, and he was here for the wedding. It wouldn't be good for either of them to make things too awkward, so Jiang Xiaowei kept quiet. Honey, I'm fine. Wei Liao turned his head and looked at Jiang Xiaowei with a gentle expression. Dad, don't be angry. Wei Yinshu reached out his little hand and touched Wei Liao's face. Lord Su, I'm leaving now. Let Xiaowei stay here. I still have work to do at the company. Wei Liao suggested that he should leave first. Su Yu knew why Wei Yinshu did this, so he didn't make things difficult for him. Okay, I'll find you for a drink later. Let's talk and calm down. Su Yu patted Wei Liao's shoulder. Slightly. You and your son play here. I'll pick you up later. Okay, then drive carefully. Jiang Xiaowei also knew that her husband couldn't stay any longer, so she didn't force him to stay. When you see Hua Min and Qin Shu later, help me say hello. After that, Wei Liao turned around and left. Master Wei is very angry today, Gao Ren commented. Maybe you don't understand, but no matter how calm a person is, they will still feel indignant when it comes to family matters. Although my sister-in-law is arrogant and overbearing, and even I don't like her, my husband loves her very much. After all, they are blood-related siblings, and no matter what, he is better than an outsider. It's normal for him to feel uncomfortable. Maybe you don't know how much trouble my sister-in-law caused at home when she just got divorced, Jiang Xiaowei said as she bit her lip. I know. I heard that she slit her wrists and took sleeping pills. She even jumped off the second-floor rooftop of the mansion. Is that true? Tang Chuan had always been an encyclopedia in the industry, so nothing could escape his ears. Jiang Xiaowei nodded. Damn, she took sleeping pills, slit her wrists, and jumped off a building. Your sister-in-law is also a ruthless person. Zhu Lingling was dumbfounded. My sister-in-law has been spoiled since she was young. She can't get anything she wants. This time, the setback at the Shun family was a big blow to her. That's why she's acting like a crazy person. The people who are most upset by her behavior are none other than her family members. My in-laws are already mentally and physically exhausted because of her, and my husband is also worried about her. Jiang Xiaowei sighed. After Shun Mingxi and Hua Yinyan entered the venue, they ran into some business acquaintances. Shun Mingxi went over to greet them, and Hua Yinyan took some pastries to eat. After Hua Min finished his work, he happened to see Hua Yinyan alone, so he walked over to her. Yinyan, he said with a serious expression. Hua Yinyan looked up and saw Hua Min. She immediately put down the pastries in her hands, as if she knew what Hua Min was going to say. I really didn't expect you to be a mistress. Hua Min looked at Hua Yinyan in disappointment. Chapter 2263. So that's what you think of me as well. Hua Yinyan's eyes darkened. She seemed disappointed in Hua Min as well. The two of them stood in a corner of the hotel. It was a quiet corner and a good place to talk. It had been a long time since Hua Min saw Hua Yinyan. The truth was, Hua Min wanted to talk to her as soon as she walked in. But he didn't want her and Shun Mingxi to think too much. Now was the perfect time to talk to her. Whatever grudges they had in the past, they were all resolved, especially when Hua Yinyan risked her life to save the twins. Hua Min was very grateful to her. Then, after Hua Si died, Hua Yinyan disappeared. She thought Hua Yinyan hated her, but today, she didn't see any hatred in Hua Yinyan's eyes and attitude. Yinyan, what happened? Why did you choose this path? You need money, but I have it. I've already prepared a place for you in Tian Tian, and I've even arranged a job for you. I don't think you're someone who's driven by money. Don't tell me you're with Shun Mingxi for money. I'm not with him for money, Yin answered calmly. Then is it for revenge? Against Wei Ying? Hua Min asked. A little, but not everything. Then is it because of you? Huamin seemed to suddenly realize something. Huayin looked up at Huamin and smiled bitterly. It's funny, isn't it? I'm almost 30, and my daughter is 4 years old. How can I still believe in love? Ha. Then do you really think he's someone you can entrust your life to? You know, it's not that easy to enter the Shun family. You can't be a mistress for the rest of your life, right? How can Tian face other people in the future? Huamian thought she might be a little too righteous, but she still felt that being a third party was too shameful. Mian, I'm not a mistress. I moved in with Mingxi after he got divorced. But if it weren't for you, would Shin Mingxi divorce Wei Ying? Huamin asked calmly. Hua Yin remained silent. Mian, not everyone is as lucky as you to have Qin Shu's protection at a young age. Mingxi treats me very well, and I don't care about his status anymore. I don't dare to dream of marriage, but it's good to be by his side all the time. Hui Yin lowered her head, her voice getting lower and lower, perhaps because she knew she was in the wrong. You're still young, and there are many good men out there. Why do you have to be with him? I think not only are you involved in the Shan family and the Wei family, but you're also the scapegoat. People who don't know the truth will think you're vixen. Plus, with Wei Ying's temper, I don't think she'll let you go. Why do you have to put yourself in danger? Huamin analyzed the situation for her. I understand what you're saying, but I can't let it go. Mian, you know how much I was obsessed with him before I got married. It's still the same now. My scumbag ex-husband came back to bully me and my daughter. He asked us for money, threw things, and even brought a bunch of hooligans to scare us. He stood up for us. My daughter and I are weak and need someone to protect us. I can't say no to his kindness, so you once again fell into your love? Huayin nodded. Okay, if that's the case, I have nothing else to say. Huamin sighed slightly. Mian, tell me the truth. Do you really look down on me? Huayin looked at Huamin and asked. Chapter 2264. No, Yin, don't think that way. I'm just worried about your situation. Forget it. Since things are already like this, we can't change anything. Anyways, remember to take good care of yourself and Tian. If you need anything, come to me. Huamin saw that Huayin had made up her mind about Shun Mingxi, so he didn't try to persuade her anymore. He just hoped that she would be careful. I will. Yin. Shun Mingxi called her name from not far away. Then I'll go over now, Mian. Huayin nodded and left. Huamin walked over to Qin Shu, who was not far away. Is my wife trying to persuade her to turn over a new leaf? Qin Shu asked as he put his arm around Hua Min's shoulder. Your wife isn't that great, but I don't think Yin should have made this choice. Okay, we're all adults and have the right to choose our own lives. Whether it's right or wrong, we have to be responsible. I understand. Huamin nodded. Good boy, don't be depressed. The wedding ceremony is coming up, and our babies are going to go on stage. How are the preparations going? The bride is putting on her makeup, and Jixin is changing. After hearing Qin Shu's words, Huamin nodded and followed Qin Shu to help with the reception. At An Yang's wedding, there were a lot of media outlets and even more celebrities in the industry. Huamin was relieved that Mo Shu didn't come, or else he would have been heartbroken. Inside the makeup room, Jixin, who had just changed into his best man's outfit, suddenly felt a sharp pain in his stomach. Jixin, what's wrong? Bridesmaid Qin Ning looked at him curiously. I think I have a stomachache. I need to go to the washroom. But you're going on stage soon. There's not enough time. Qin Ning frowned. However, Jixin couldn't take it anymore and ran straight to the washroom. Tang Chuan patted Qin Ning's shoulder. Don't worry. If he can't, there's still me. We're the bridesmaid and best man. What a perfect match. Go away. Qin Ning was used to Tang Chuan's playful behavior and thought he was joking. However, after waiting for about 10 minutes, Jixin still hadn't returned. Everyone, take your positions. The ceremony will begin in 3 minutes. The planner shouted into the headset. Why isn't Jixin back yet? I'm so worried he's not coming back. He has diarrhea. How do you know he's having diarrhea? Qin Ning turned her head. Tang Chuan. Okay, did you do something to it? Qin Ning pressed. I actually didn't do anything. I just gave him a cup of sausage tea. You're so despicable. Qi Ning gritted her teeth in anger. He didn't want to swap places with me and insisted on being the best man. I had no choice. You're the bridesmaid. I can't give you to someone else. Tang Chuan explained. Before Qi Ning could say anything, Chun Jie stood up. Ning, it's time for us to go in, okay? Then, Qi Ning turned around and pointed at Tang Chuan. Just you wait. I'm going to teach you a lesson. President Qin, feel free to pounce on me. Tang Chuan smirked. Chun Jie slowly walked onto the stage amidst the romantic piano music. Pudding and Little Bean wore little angel-like wedding dresses with garlands on their heads. Each of them held a small flower basket and scattered flower petals on the ground. As the bridesmaid, Qi Ning wore a long lavender dress. She followed behind the bride, holding the hem of her dress. At this moment, Chun Jie was beautiful with a bright smile on her face. She slowly walked towards an Aiyang. With everyone's blessings, every step she took was like a halo. Sis, don't you think we look so dumb when we scatter flower petals? Little Bean whispered. Chapter 2265. Don't tease me, I'm going to laugh. Pudding tried her best to hold back her laughter. I'm not teasing you. I'm serious, okay? Then, Little Bean turned her head and saw Suyu. She immediately smiled and waved her chubby little hand. Hey, handsome Hey, Pudding. Suyu was sitting in the front row, so he could hear Little Bean's words and interact with her. Handsome Sue, you're so handsome today. Little Bean began to flatter him. You're beautiful too. Do your best. Suyu gave Little Bean and Pudding a thumbs up. Under everyone's watchful eyes, the two little guys escorted the bride to the center of the stage. And Aiyang took the bride from Chun Jie's father's hands, and they looked into each other's eyes. Does the groom have anything he wants to say to the bride? The famous host teased an Aiyang. Yes. Okay, everyone quiet down. Let's listen to the confession of the superstar groom. The host said, and the audience immediately fell silent. Countless camera flashes were focused on them, and Chun Jie was very nervous. However, she still tried her best to remain calm. She couldn't believe that she was going to marry a superstar, a handsome guy that many girls would go crazy over. And Aiyang held Chun Jie's hands and looked at her with tenderness in his eyes. Although Chun Jie wasn't the kind of girl who was stunning at first glance, she was very beautiful today with her exquisite bridal makeup. And Aiyang felt his heart race as he looked at the woman he loved in front of him at such an important moment. He took a deep breath and held Chun Jie's hand. Looking into her eyes, he enunciated each word clearly. Jie, my dear wife. From now on, we're one. We're going to build a new home, a family of our own. We've been through so much together for the past 4 years. No matter when I was at my lowest point or when I was at my peak, you were always by my side. Because of your identity, you had to be sneaky with me. I didn't do all the things a girl should do. I even had to wear a mask when I went out to the movies and avoid people. But from now on, I want to announce to the world that you, Chun Jie, are my wife. We don't have to hide from people anymore. We can do whatever we want. From now on, I won't let you suffer. I'll love you and take care of you. It's a long life, but I'm confident that we'll be together forever. And Aiyang's voice choked up as tears streamed down Chun Jie's face. And Aiyang continued, the clouds never promise to stay in the sky, but we'll always be together. The stars never promise to shine in the night, but they always try to shine. I don't easily tell you how much I love you, but my true feelings will always be with you. We'll walk down the road together, and we'll face all the storms together. You'll always be my most precious thing. I won't lose you. Honey, I love you. Then, under everyone's gaze, and Aiyang held Chun Jie's face in his hands and kissed her. The crowd immediately burst into thunderous applause. Everyone in the audience was touched by her performance. Huamin's eyes were wet with tears as she clapped so hard that her hands turned red. Honey, calm down, Qin Chu reminded Huamin. Chapter 2266. I can't calm down, I'm too excited. And Aiyang said it so well. It's simple but touching, Huamin praised. How romantic. Why weren't you like this when we were together? Zhu Lingling pinched Gao Ran's arm. Come on, honey, I was really touching back then too, okay? Don't bring up the past. Our kids are all grown up now. Why are you picking on us? Gao Ran retorted. I don't care, I don't care. You have to write me something so touching on our wedding anniversary. I want to hear it. Zhu Lingling whined. Gao Buyuan couldn't take it anymore and spoke up for his father. Mommy, you're so noisy. Let's watch the wedding, okay? Zhu Lingling choked on her son's words. Gao Ran immediately gave his son a look of approval. Ever since his son learned how to talk, his life had been much better. The two of them were finally together. After kissing, the bride and groom exchanged rings. And Ai Yang held Chun Jie's hand, picked up the microphone, and continued. On this happy day, I also want to thank someone. The audience quieted down again as they waited for Ai Yang to continue. She patiently treated my illness, comforted me, and encouraged me to walk out of my shadow. She even helped me untie the knot in my heart that had been in my heart for many years, allowing me to reunite with my mother and son. That's why we're so happy today. In terms of work and career, she's my teacher. In terms of personal life, she's my dearest family member. Although we're not related by blood, I love her as much as my own life. She's like a family member. No matter where I go, I miss her. Now, let's give her a round of applause and invite her onto the stage to say a few words. Let's welcome my beloved sister, Huamian. As soon as Huamin's name came out of his mouth, the audience erupted into thunderous applause. Suyi glanced at Huamin proudly. It was as if he was happier than being praised. Holy shit, Mian is going to be famous today. Zhu Lingling clapped her hands. He had a private discussion with Jiang Xiaowei. Mian is so good to Ai Yang. Of course she's grateful. When Ai Yang was suffering from depression, Mian stayed up all night to discuss treatment plans with me. She really did her best. Jiang Xiaowei sighed. Now that you mention it, Mian is so nice. She's such a kind girl. That's why she's so lucky, Zhu Lingling said sincerely. Go, Dr. He. I'm proud of you. Qin Chu patted the back of Huamin's hand to encourage her. Huamin stood up excitedly and walked onto the stage in front of the media and guests. Wow, Mommy is so charismatic today, Little Bean exclaimed from behind the bride. Mommy is always charismatic, especially when she's teaching us a lesson. Little Bean snickered. Hey sis, don't mention it. Mommy's going to give a speech on stage. No, I have to record it. Little Bean took out her phone as she spoke. Keep it so that when you make a mistake in the future, you can use it to kiss up to her, right? Little Bean looked at her sister with disdain. Ha, pudding knows me best. Little Bean laughed. Huamin was wearing a dark blue evening gown. Her shoulders were bare, and there was a thin veil on her back. When she walked, she was especially eye-catching. Not only did the gown show off her slim figure, but it also made her look elegant but not ostentatious. It suited Huamin's personality very well. It's too sudden. I didn't prepare for this, nor did I rehearse. Huamin picked up the microphone and smiled embarrassedly. It's okay, Mian, you can say anything, and Ai Yang comforted her. Chapter 2267. Okay, then I'll say a few words. Seeing Ai Yang and Chun Jie's expectant gazes, Huamin decided to be more high-profile for once. Although it didn't suit her personality, she was still very touched at an event like this. Maybe she would be even more excited when Ji Xin got married in the future. You can do it, honey, Mr. Qin mouthed to Huamin. She saw it all. She even gave Mr. Qin a clenched fist, looking extremely cute. Did you see it? Daddy and Mommy are secretly showing off their love. Little Bean said playfully. Yeah, I saw it. Daddy's lips and Mommy's hand gesture. Pudding understood everything. The adults sure know how to have fun. Little Bean pouted. Huamin looked around with the microphone in his hand and said in a soft voice, Thank you all for coming today. Today is the wedding of my brother, Ai Yang, and my assistant, Chun Jie. At the most important moment of their lives, I sincerely wish that they can trust each other, support each other, and live happily ever after. Actually, I also want to say that many people think that when the princess and the prince get together, it is the end of the story and the beginning of a fairy tale. Actually, that's not the case. After the prince and the princess get married, they will have to face many real problems. Marriage isn't a flower under the moonlight, and most of the time, it's just a mess. It all depends on how they manage this marriage. I hope that my brother and sister-in-law will be mentally prepared to face all the trials and tribulations in life. Please understand each other, be tolerant, respect, and love each other, and live life as beautiful as a fairy tale. Thank you all. After speaking, Huamin bowed deeply. At this moment, she was extremely elegant. She became the most beautiful woman in the world. Qin Chu looked at Huamin from below the stage, his heart filled with pride. His wife had been outstanding since she was a child. She was as charismatic as ever, and her simple words touched the audience. Mian, you said it so well. Zhu Lingling clapped her hands. His IQ is there. We can't compare with him, Gao Ran said with a smile. Mian, you're an emotional girl. I think you live more realistically than I do, Jiang Shaowei commented. In fact, Jiang Shaowei's IQ and EQ were also very high, but she was not as good as Huamin. She was just too rational. If a woman was too calm, sometimes she would lack a sense of humanity. Huamin was not like that. She was too emotional. She would cry, laugh, throw a tantrum, and even drive a car into Huasiqian in excitement. She would even want to jump off a cliff because of despair. After all, they weren't immortals. They all had emotions and desires. Therefore, in comparison, a girl like Huamin was more likable. This was also the reason why Jiang Shaowei admired Huamin the most. Suyu looked at Huamin affectionately, his gaze unwavering. He always thought that although she wasn't a superstar, she was as dazzling as a superstar. It had been a long time since he saw her radiate with such charm. Suyu actually felt a little excited. He even wanted to go up on stage and hug Huamin. However, after calming down, he realized that hugging was not an option. Right now, even being alone with Huamin was an extravagant wish. It was as if she never belonged to him. Did you see that? Look at the way Lord Su looks at your sister-in-law. It's like how Shimin Qing looks at Pan Jinlian. Tang Chuan teased. Fuck off. Qi Ning was so angry that she exploded. Haha, I'm just kidding. Don't take it seriously. Qi Ning turned her head away and ignored him. Ning, to be honest, Lord Su really loves Huamin. Tang Chuan didn't bring it up on purpose. He just felt emotional when he saw Su Yu's infatuated gaze. I know. This time, Qi Ning didn't get angry. Instead, she quietly bit her lip and said, What did you find out? Tang Chuan was curious. Chapter 2268. I already knew. You already knew? Then why did you try to get close to Lord Su? Tang Chuan stared at Qi Ning, his heart filled with jealousy. Who tried to get close to Suyu? Don't deny it. I can see it. Pudding and Little Bean were the ones who set us up. It's not like you don't know how smart those two little guys are. How dare they marry my wife to someone else? I'm going to teach them a lesson. The robot must come back. Tang Chuan began to hold a grudge. What robot? Qi Ning was confused. Nothing. Tang Chuan didn't dare to say more, afraid that Qi Ning would see through the confidentiality agreement between him and Little Bean. Then the MC called the twins to the stage and teased them. You two are so pretty. My little babies, why don't you give the bride and groom a question? I heard that you two have high IQ, so please don't make it too difficult. The MC said with a smile. Sis, you give us a question. Little Bean handed the difficult task to her sister. Pudding's question must be harder. And Yang smiled and picked up Pudding. Chen Jie, in her wedding dress, held Little Bean's hand. As parents, Qin Chu and Huamin watched from below. What do you think Pudding will ask? Qin Chu tilted his head and looked at Huamin. Maybe she'll ask something that tests IQ. For example, how many light years is Earth from Neptune? Huh. Honey, what do you think Little Bean will ask? Huamin asked excitedly. She'll probably ask Yang how many times he plans to do it tonight. Ugh. Don't make your daughter sound so dirty, okay? Huamin almost choked. Little Bean has always been like this. It's not like you've just met her. Qin Chu laughed. All right, we'll wait and see. Humin smiled faintly. N.I. Yang handed the microphone to Pudding. Pudding looked at N.I. Yang and said, Uncle N.I. Yang, please say 6 names for the bride in 30 seconds. The countdown starts now. Wife, wife, lover, baby, wife, wife. After saying 5 words, N.I. Yang was stuck. Tang Chuan reminded him softly from behind. Your mother. Get lost. Your mother is the mother's idea. Don't talk nonsense. Qi Ning immediately stopped Tang Chuan's deliberate prank. It's almost time, Uncle. Pudding smirked. There's one more. I'm sure I can say it. Does my dear count? N.I. Yang suddenly had an idea. Yes. Pudding nodded and looked at Qinjie. Auntie, please say 6 names for the bridegroom. Husband, 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 lover, husband, darling. Qinjie said almost in a row. Since N.I. Yang was setting the stage, she was much more relaxed. Honey, you're so smart. N.I. Yang complimented. So, Uncle N.I. Yang, you have to listen to your wife from now on, okay? Pudding asked. No problem. N.I. Yang smiled. Little Bean, you asked your uncle one too. N.I. Yang really liked the twins, so he wanted to give them a chance to show off. Before Little Bean spoke, Qin Chu and Huamin were both nervous. They were afraid that she would really say something outrageous. After all, there were too many reporters at the scene. It would be bad if someone caught them. Uncle, how many babies do you plan to have? Little Bean asked. Ahem, I'm responding to the country's call for a second child. 2 is enough. N.I. Yang replied. What if Annie wants to have more babies? Are you willing? Little Bean continued to press. Then we'll have more. Listen to your auntie. We'll just have to pay the fine. After N.I. Yang said this, everyone laughed. Then here's the question. How long do you think it will take for Auntie to get pregnant? Little Bean asked. Qin Chu and Huamin both covered their faces. Their expressions were extremely sour. N.I. Yang also blushed upon hearing the little girl's question. Chapter 2269. N.I. Yang stuttered. Little Bean's words made everyone burst into laughter. Oh my God, isn't my daughter-in-law a bit too fierce? Zhu Lingling burst into laughter. I don't want a daughter-in-law like her. I'm going to ask Qin Chu for a refund, Gao Ran said with puppy eyes. Little Bean is too dirty, too dirty. Gao Buiyuan covered his eyes. Son, do you know what Little Bean meant? Zhu Lingling looked down at her son in her arms. I don't know, but I can tell from your expressions that it's not something good, Gao Buiyuan said proudly. Haha, son, you're amazing. Your reasoning skills are as good as your dad's. Zhu Lingling pinched her son's cheeks. Gao Ran picked up Gao Buiyuan from Zhu Lingling's arms. Of course, he's my son. He's not a free gift. Little Bean is such a clown. I'm so lucky to have a daughter like her. Jiang Shaowei smiled. How about we swap? You give Yin Shu to my family, and I'll give Little Bean to yours. Huamin looked at Jiang Shaowei with a smile. Before Jiang Shaowei could say anything, Wei Yinshu couldn't sit still anymore. Annie Huamin, you can't swap. Why not? Annie will treat you as well as your mom. You can have whatever you have at home. Huamin coaxed Wei Yinshu. She thought Wei Yinshu would say something like, my mom is the best. However, after a while, he finally said, no, if I give her to your family, I'll be Pudding's brother and sister. There's a U shape there. Close relatives can't get married. Pudding is my wife. She can't be my sister. Ha ha. Wei Yinshu's words made Zhu Lingling and Gao Ran laugh. Jiang Shaowei couldn't hold it in either. Then you can marry Little Bean. Didn't I give her to your family? Then you two won't be siblings anymore. Huamin continued to test the little handsome guy's IQ. Forget it. If we don't compare, we won't know. Now that we compare, I'm shocked. I think Pudding suits me better. Little Bean is too wild. Wei Yinshu used the word wild to describe Little Bean. Slightly, your son's EQ isn't bad. It's comparable to yours. He's going to be amazing when he grows up. Zhu Lingling chuckled. This kid is just like his father. Although he doesn't say much, his words are all gold. I don't know what to do. Jiang Shaowei patted her son's head lovingly. Huamin couldn't stop laughing. He pulled Qin Chu aside and said, listen, your Little Bean is being despised. It's okay. Little Bean can marry Buiyang. Mr. Qin said calmly. Buffed. Arbuyan won't take the blame. Gao Ran held his son tightly and corrected him. While the adults in the audience were having fun, and Ai Yang was still thinking hard about how to answer Little Bean's question. Superstar, hurry up and answer, the MC cheered. I think. I'll try my best to make your Annie pregnant in the shortest time possible. And Ai Yang finally stuttered and made a promise in front of everyone. Chun Jie's cheeks also turned red. Little Bean is so fierce. But I like it. Ha ha. Tang Chuan laughed behind him. Qi Ning looked at the man in front of her. He wasn't pretentious and was laughing arrogantly. She suddenly felt that people like him were quite nice. At least he wasn't shrewd. At least he wasn't hard to read. Why are you looking at me like that? Tang Chuan turned around and saw Qi Ning looking at him. Chapter 2270. Can I just take a look? Do you think I'm spending money? Qi Ning snapped. No, look all you want. If you don't like it, you can touch it. Tang Chuan snickered. Fuck off. The best man and the maid of honor fought behind them, and the wedding ended with smiles and tears. Next up was the wedding banquet. Huamin and Qin Chu paid for all the expenses. They used the best wedding banquet set from the Yunding Mountain Hot Spring Hotel, which cost as much as $38,888 per table. The banquet was full of seafood, sashimi, and other high-end dishes. The guests were extremely satisfied. There were 100 tables of banquets. Even the media was prepared to take photos and interview the guests. All the media gave good reviews. At the Hua Mansion, Hua Xiqian was wearing a bathrobe and sitting in the living room with a glass of red wine in his hand. He was watching the 80-inch LCD TV. When Huamin went on stage, he was extremely focused. His subordinates stood in a row behind him, but no one dared to say a word. Isn't she beautiful? Hua Xiqian asked. One of his assistants froze for a second before realizing who Hua Xiqian was referring to. He nodded and flattered. Yes. Miss Hua is very beautiful. I haven't seen her so elegant in a long time. What a cute girl. Even her words are so interesting. Hua Xiqian praised Hua Min's performance as he sipped on his wine. Boss, since you miss Miss Hua so much, why don't we invite her to our house? Although his assistant used the word invite, based on their current relationship, Huamin would have to be forceful or even kidnap her. Forget it. It's New Year's Eve. Why make things difficult for her? With that, Hua Xiqian picked up his phone and dialed a number. Huamin was busy greeting guests at the wedding, so she picked up the call without looking at the caller ID. Hello. I'm Huamin, she said breathlessly. Happy New Year, Mian. Hua Xiqian smiled slightly and said in a magnetic voice. Hearing Hua Xiqian's voice, Huamin stopped smiling. What do you want? Nothing. I just miss you and wanted to come home. Hua Xiqian meant the Hua Mansion. Are you delusional, Hua Xiqian? Hua Mian, don't be so agitated. I was just thinking about it. I won't do anything to you. The live broadcast just now was very exciting. Your performance was very outstanding. My girl, every time Hua Xiqian said something so mushy, Huamin felt a chill run down her spine. If that's what you're calling to say, then I'm sorry, but I'm busy. Then, Huamian hung up the phone. What's wrong? Qin Chu saw that Huamin wasn't in a good mood and walked over. Nothing, it's just a prank call, Huamin said evasively as she held onto Qin Chu's arm and continued greeting the guests. After the twins left the stage, their grandparents carried them to sit with N.I. Yang's mother, little brother, and Shun Jie's parents. Huamian had arranged for all the people at this table to be her elders, who were very close to her. Tang Chuan and Qi Ning walked to the lounge to get changed. You're wearing too little. Come here and wear mine. Tang Chuan saw that Qi Ning's gown was too revealing, so he took off his jacket and put it on her. How is this considered too little? Qi Ning looked down at her gown, thinking that Tang Chuan's words were ridiculous. It's not that you're wearing too little, it's that your breasts are too big. Haha, that's why people's imaginations run wild. Tang Chuan laughed. Chapter 2271. Despicable. Only a despicable person like you would think of something so despicable. Qi Ning glared at him. Then, The two went back to the lounge to get changed. Just then, Jishin walked out of the bathroom, limp and exhausted. His face was pale. "Hey bro, where were you? The wedding is over, and you're only coming out now?" Tang Chuan teased him. "Don't mention it. I don't know what I ate, but I had diarrhea a dozen times. My legs are weak." "But what did you just say? The wedding is over? Oh, what should I do? I'm the best man." Jishin's face paled. "Don't worry, I was your substitute." Tang Chuan patted Jishin's shoulder in all seriousness. "You scare me to death. I thought I screwed up." "Thank you, big brother Chuan." Jishin, an honest kid, didn't know what happened and was still thanking Tang Chuan. "It's okay. Don't mention it. We're all buddies. Then you guys go get changed. I'll go take a look. Ha." Jishin held his stomach and walked out. Tang Chuan smiled proudly. Qi Ning glanced at him. "Little Chuan, can you be any more shameless?" "How am I shameless? You drugged him and made him unable to be the best man. And now you're here pretending to be a virgin. How can you be so shameless?" "Let me correct you. I didn't drug him. That was sausage tea. It's good for health, got it? I was detoxifying Jishin, okay? You're so shameless." Jishin is such an honest kid. If only he had half of my sister-in-law's IQ. Then you wouldn't have bullied him. I didn't bully him. Haha, don't talk nonsense, little Ning. Plus, I did it for you. For some reason, Qi Ning blushed, even though she knew he was joking with Tang Chuan. Ning, your face is so red." Tang Chuan looked down and carefully looked at Qi Ning. "Ahem, it's a bit hot in here. Is the air conditioning too high?" Qi Ning purposely found an excuse. Tang Chuan turned around and looked at the air conditioner switch. "No, the air conditioner isn't on." "Well, it's hot. If I say it's hot, then it's hot." Qi Ning corrected her. Okay. You're right. It's hot. It's really hot. It's like the Sahara Desert. How about we take off our clothes and take a bath together?" Tang Chuan teased her on purpose. "Fuck off." Qi Ning was speechless. He picked up a pillow and threw it at Tang Chuan. Tang Chuan didn't even dodge. He caught the pillow with his bare hands and hugged it in his arms. "So, Ning, by giving me a pillow, are you hinting that I can sleep with you?" "Tang Chuan, come here. I want to see you." Qi Ning gritted her teeth and smiled. "Haha, don't go over there. You'll strangle me to death." Tang Chuan hid far away after saying that. "Hurry up and get out. I'm going to change." "Go ahead. I'll close my eyes." "No, only a ghost would believe you." Qi Ning was so angry that her face turned red. "You're wrong about that. Even a ghost wouldn't believe me." Tang Chuan continued to tease her. Okay, I won't tease you anymore. I'll go out. You can change on your own." After saying that, Tang Chuan was about to leave. Suddenly, he thought of something. He walked up to Qi Ning and pulled her zipper forcefully. With a rip, the zipper came down, exposing her entire back. "Tang Chuan, what are you doing?" Qi Ning was about to break down and screamed hysterically. Chapter 2272. Without any warning, he unzipped her dress. "Why are you so excited? If I don't help you, I'll help you when I get out. No need to thank me." Then, Tang Chuan ran away with a pillow. Qi Ning was about to get mad, but the door was already closed. In the end, she smiled helplessly and took off her dress. The banquet didn't end until 10 p.m. Huamin was annoyed by all the noise, so he hid on the balcony to enjoy the breeze, and walked over and stood behind him. President Hua, and had been Huamin's driver and bodyguard for 3 years, so they were very familiar with each other. "President Hua, President Su is drunk. Can you go see him?" N's voice was very low, as if he was begging Huamin. "Drunk?" Huamin was surprised. So you hadn't been drunk in a long time, especially in a crowded place. He would try his best to stay calm. "Yeah, maybe he's hiding too many things in his heart." Today he said it out loud, and guessed. "Where is he right now?" Huamin asked. "In the hallway behind the hotel." "Okay, I'll go see him." Since N said so, Huamin wouldn't feel at ease if he didn't go. She cared about Su Yu's feelings. Qin Chu held the twins' hands and continued to work in the hall. Huamin wore a dark blue dress and walked towards the hallway behind the hotel. Su didn't drink that much. Maybe it was because he wasn't in a good mood, so he felt a little dizzy. Then, he hid here alone and looked at the snowy scenery. Yending Mountain was covered in snow all year round. During the new year, the wind was bone-chilling. However, one could see the most beautiful snowy scenery and hanging trees. In the north, people called it the Holy Mountain. After Qin Shu returned to GK, he started building the most beautiful ski resort in the country. Therefore, Yending Mountain became more and more prosperous. The local government even cooperated with GK to build an airport and bring tourists from all over the country to ski and soak in the hot springs. Suyu stood in a good spot to look at the snow. He held a glass of champagne in his hand and stared into the distance. Huomin walked over and stopped beside him. "Can I have a sip of the champagne? I'm a little thirsty." Huomin smiled. Suyu tilted his head and looked at Huomian with tenderness in his eyes. "Here, but don't get drunk, Suyu." "I wasn't the one who was drunk," Huomian corrected her. "And? Su, you're so sober. It seems like you're not drunk, and is making a fuss over nothing." Huomin took a sip of the champagne. Huomin took small sips of the champagne. Her lips looked especially seductive under the reflection of the glass. So you didn't know if he was really drunk or if he was delusional. For a moment, he wanted to rush up and kiss her. However, a voice in his heart kept reminding him not to do that. Otherwise, he might not even be friends with her in the future. Suyu was conflicted and tried his best to restrain himself. "What are you thinking about?" Huomin looked up and saw that Suyu's gaze was a little strange. "No, nothing. I just thought what you said on stage was pretty good." "Huh, I said it on the spot. I didn't prepare a script. What's so good about it? It's all the truth. It can't be shown on stage. Sometimes the truth is the most heartwarming. And Aiyang is lucky to have a sister like you." Suyu sighed. "He's also lucky to have a boss like you." Huomin smiled. "Mian," Suyu said gently. "Yes, I suddenly have a crazy idea," Suyu said slowly. "What idea?" Huomin looked at Suyu's handsome side profile curiously. Chapter 2273. I plan to be single for the rest of my life. After speaking, Suyu let out a deep breath, as if a huge rock had been lifted from his heart. "Single for the rest of your life?" Huomin frowned slightly. "Yes, that means I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. Isn't that awesome?" Suyu smiled casually. "Why?" Huomin's face instantly fell, and his heart sank. "Because there won't be another Huomin in this world." Suyu looked at Huomin and said seriously. Huomin felt as if something was tugging at his heart. Then, he looked at Suyu and smiled, changing the topic. "I'm just kidding. Don't be nervous. It has nothing to do with you. I'm used to being single, and I think this kind of life suits me. Actually, being married doesn't mean being happy, and being single doesn't mean being unlucky. Everyone has the right to choose their own way of life. When we were born, we were one person, and we can't leave at the same time. So when we leave, we'll still be alone. Living alone, as long as you have a good attitude, it's a kind of happiness. You're smart. You should understand what I mean." Suyu rarely spoke so seriously. However, every time he spoke like this, Huomin's heart ached. "You're right, but Lord Su and the others." Huomin was worried about the Su family's feelings. "To be honest, Mian, I don't care so much. Sometimes people think too much and carry too many things and responsibilities. That's why they're unhappy. I don't want to be that kind of person. Maybe you guys think that I'm selfish, that I only have myself in my heart. I really don't care so much. But you're the only heir of the Su family. If you don't continue the family line." Huomin wanted to say something, but he stopped. "Why are you as stubborn as my grandfather? What era are we living in? People in other countries don't care about these things, but we in China always want to continue the family line and have sons. But what happens after that? So what? Even if my generation is not broken, what about the next generation? How do you know that my children and grandchildren will have the same thoughts as me? What if I meet someone who has the same thoughts as me in the future and doesn't want to get married and have children? So don't think about it. It's meaningless." So he waved his hand and smiled. "I know I have no right to interfere with your thoughts, and I don't want to persuade you. I just want to say fate is a wonderful thing. Some people come early and some people come late. But in the end, there will be arrangements, so don't jump to conclusions too early. Maybe your other half is on the way. When you meet the one you really like, you won't be so free and easy. Really? Then I'll wait and see. In short, I'm enjoying this kind of life now. However, I have a small request that you have to promise me. Suyu rarely acted like a spoiled child. Moreover, she was acting coquettishly in front of Huamin. This was the first time she had done so since they had known each other. Huamin suddenly felt that Lord Su's demeanor was very cute. Okay, what is it? If I'm really going to be alone in the future, can you let the twins be my goddaughters? If I'm old, there will be someone to take care of me. Don't leave me in a nursing home. That's so miserable. Haha, you're thinking too far ahead. Huamin laughed. You're still laughing. I'm talking about such a serious topic with you. So you looked wronged. Chapter 2274. Okay, I won't laugh. I promise you that even if we have a second or third child, they'll call you their godfather, okay? Don't worry, we'll make sure you have a lot of children. Huamin was just joking. However, Suyu heard the key words. He stopped smiling and looked at Huamin seriously. You're planning to have a second child? So, are you pregnant? Suyu's voice was very low. However, Huamin still heard it clearly. Ah, what are you thinking? I just said it casually. What pregnancy? Mr. Qin and I are very casual about having a second child. We'll let nature take its course. If it comes, we'll take it. If it doesn't, we won't force it. Huamin explained. Suyu nodded. Just then, Huamin's phone rang. Hello, honey. Okay, I'll be right there. After hanging up, Huamin smiled apologetically. Lord Su, we should go back. It's over. As the CEO of Imperial Star, you have to talk to the media about official matters. Mr. Qin is coaxing Pudding and Lil Bean to sleep. You and I will be interviewed by the media for 15 minutes. Is that okay? No problem. Let's go. Then, Suyu and Huamin came back from the corridor behind the hotel and were interviewed by the media in the lobby. When everything was over, it was already past 11 p.m. All the guests had left. For those who didn't, Huamin asked the hotel to arrange suites for them. Suyu was going to leave, but it snowed in the middle of the night and the road was bad. Huamin tried his best to persuade him to stay and booked a presidential suite for him and then. However, Tang Chuan shamelessly went to join in the fun. You're glowing these days. Suyu looked at Tang Chuan. Yeah, I've been like this ever since Ning Ning came back. Then if she leaves again, will you still die? Suyu choked him. I won't let her go. Even if she really leaves, I'll go with her. Tang Chuan made up his mind. Still going? Didn't you come back with your tail between your legs last time? You're really shameless, Master Tang. Suyu gave him a thumbs up. It's useless to care about your face. The most important thing is to have a wife. No matter what Suyu said, Tang Chuan wasn't angry. When Huamin returned, Qin Shu had just finished showering. Honey, are they asleep? Huamin whispered. Yes, they're all asleep. Qin Shu nodded while drying his hair with a towel. It was extremely tempting. Huamin ran over like a little bird and jumped into Mr. Qin's arms. What are you doing? Mr. Qin was shocked. Honey, thank you for your hard work. You're so thoughtful. Qin Shu looked down at Huamin with a smile. Of course, you're the hero this time. Your team came up with the wedding plan, you paid for the banquet, and you contacted the media. Anyways, everything went well. All I did was say a few words on stage. Honey, you're the best. Wow, Dr. Hu has grown up. He's thoughtful and knows how to suck up to his husband. He's becoming more and more like Little Bean, Qin Shu praised. I'm going to learn from Little Bean. Look at how popular she is. Although she's not as smart as her sister, she has a lot of connections. Everyone likes her. Huamin was full of pride when he talked about his two babies. Okay, go take a shower and rest early. You've had a long day, Qin Shu said worriedly. I'll take a shower later, Huamin said with a red face. What are you going to do now? Qin Shu froze and looked at Huamin's strange expression. Chapter 2275. Huamin didn't say anything. Qin Shu immediately understood what she meant, and he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Dr. Hua, please, can you be more professional at a time like this? Am I not professional enough? Huamin didn't want to admit defeat. Honey, you? Mr. Qin asked subtly. Huamin nodded shyly. Yeah, I want a second child. She was even more subtle. Mr. Qin's lips curved up slightly as he lifted Huamian up. In order not to disturb the twins in the other room, Mr. Qin carried her into a bathroom that was a little further away. After a tiring day, only Qin Shu and Huamian were still in the mood. Huamin laid on top of Qin Shu, breathing heavily. Honey, yeah? Will you betray me? Why are you asking this? Qin Shu reached out and gently caressed Huamin's face. I'm just worried that when I get older, you'll get tired of me and find a younger and prettier woman. Do you think I'm that kind of person? Mr. Qin asked. You're not. Then you're right. Don't think too much. That day won't come. Qin Shu hugged Huamin tightly. He held her against his chest, as if he was afraid that he would lose her at any moment. Huamin didn't say anything. She leaned against Qin Shu's chest and quietly enjoyed this beautiful moment. And Ai Yang's wedding was over. Everyone returned to their normal lives. Qin Ning didn't want to go back to her normal life. Qin Ning was surprised that she wasn't planning to go back to the States. Qin Shu's second uncle had called her several times to urge her to go back, but she was hesitant. Since Qin Shu's parents moved back, Jixin and Yang Meiyerong moved back to their old house at Sky Blessing Court. That way, they had a lot more freedom. In the morning, Qin Shu and Huamin went to work. The twins began to turn the house upside down. Qin Ning put on some makeup, put on a pair of jeans and an orange cashmere coat, and walked out. Stop. Auntie, you're dressed so flirtatiously. Where are you going? Pudding stopped her, and there was still unfinished cream on the corner of her mouth. I'm going out for a walk. I'm bored with you two brats all day. Qin Ning said purposely. Pudding was sending a WeChat message. Auntie, you're really just going out for a walk? Aren't you going out with Uncle Tang? Of course not. Don't talk nonsense. Qin Ning suddenly felt guilty. Auntie, you've been glowing lately. Ever since you came back from Uncle and Ai Yang's wedding, I've noticed something different about you. Hurry up and tell me the truth. Are you dating someone? Little Bean demanded. What? What do you mean? Is Ning Ning in a relationship? Old Madame Qin asked curiously when she heard her granddaughter's conversation. Auntie, it's nothing. Don't listen to Pudding and Little Bean. It's nothing. Then, Qin Ning ran out in a hurry. She didn't want to confront the twins anymore. If it's nothing, then what's going to happen? Is she going to come home with a big belly? Pudding sighed. Don't talk nonsense. Pudding, don't talk about Annie like that. Mrs. Qin thought Pudding was being ridiculous and immediately stopped her. Then, Pudding walked over and sat down beside Pudding. Sis, do you think we should get involved in this matter? How? Pudding didn't even look at her. Chapter 2276. Should we tell Daddy and Mommy? Should we keep an eye on Auntie or something? You're overthinking it. It's impossible that Daddy and Mommy don't know about this. From what I see, Daddy trusts Uncle Tang's character, which is why he allowed him to be close to Annie. Otherwise, with Daddy's personality, he would break someone's leg if they tried to do something to his sister. Pudding didn't think much of it. You're right. Pudding looked at her sister with admiration. When it came to analyzing situations and thinking logically, Pudding's brain worked faster than Pudding's. Southside Recuperation Center. Chun Jie was on wedding leave and wasn't back yet. Huamin and his new assistant weren't familiar with each other yet, so he did most of the work himself. Vice Director Hua, someone's looking for you. Come in. Huamin was busy reviewing documents and didn't even look up. Then she heard the office door being pushed open and footsteps coming in. Mian. Huamin looked up at the familiar voice. He was immediately overjoyed. Xiaoxue. Huamin immediately stood up, walked out, and enthusiastically shook Wu Xiaoxue's hand. Long time no see. You're the vice director now. Wu Xiaoxue was wearing a dark blue coat and was dressed elegantly. Maybe it was because she stayed in the States for too long, but her aura changed drastically. Don't tease me. It's all because President Wu took care of me and promoted me. Come sit. Huamin pulled over a chair for Wu Xiaoxue to sit down. Then, he saw the man behind Wu Xiaoxue. It was Ning Ziyuan, holding his daughter's hand. "Happy New Year, Huamin." Ning Ziyuan smiled. "Happy New Year." Huamin nodded and smiled back. After Ning Ziyuan went to the States, Huamin never heard from him again. The only few times he had heard about him, it was from Director Wu, and he had always been very casual about it. She heard that the couple had opened a clinic there, specializing in treating the local Chinese. They were quite famous. Now that he saw Ning Ziyuan, it really felt like a lifetime had passed. His appearance did not change much, but his aura was indeed completely different. Ning Ziyuan was wearing a black cashmere coat, which was similar to Wu Xiaoxue's. It was simple and elegant. Around his neck was a classic Burberry scarf with silver-rimmed glasses. He looked very elegant. The scumbag temperament was completely gone. It had to be said that time and environment could really change a person completely. Ning Ziyuan was holding the hand of a little girl. She was already very tall and looked very similar to Ning Ziyuan. Huamin immediately squatted down and touched her little face. "This is little Xinyue, right? She's so big already." "Xinyue. Call her Auntie Mian," Wu Xiaoxue said. "Hello, Auntie Mian." The little girl's voice was sweet and adorable. "Oh, that's great. Xinyue is already so tall." "She's only a year older than our Pudding and Little Bean, but she's much taller. Maybe it has to do with the environment there. The people there eat beef and milk, so they're very healthy. Many of my Chinese friends' children are also very well developed." Wu Xiaoxue smiled. "When did you guys come back? Why didn't you call me?" Huamin looked at Wu Xiaoxue warmly. "We came back on the 29th and spent the new year with my parents and uncle. Uncle hasn't been very healthy these past few years, so we didn't want to torture him too much. Plus, Ziyuan's parents also miss their children. After the new year, we went back to Ziyuan's hometown. Didn't we just come back? Since you're already at work, we came to Southside to see you. I heard you gave birth to twin daughters. Congratulations." Ning Ziyuan looked at Huamin with a gentleness that hadn't been seen in a long time. Chapter 2277. "Thank you." Huamin nodded at Ning Ziyuan. Although he was polite, his eyes were distant. Huamin felt like Ning Ziyuan was a lifetime ago. Plus, there wasn't much love or hate between them. "Mian, we're the twins. Why don't we have dinner together?" The baby went with her grandparents to visit some relatives of the Qin family. Unfortunately, Wu Xiaoxue didn't come at the right time and didn't see the twins. "Oh, it's okay. Let's find a time to get together before we leave. We can have dinner together," Wu Xiaoxue suggested enthusiastically. "Okay, let's contact each other on WeChat." Before they left, Huamin gave Wu Xinyue a red envelope of 6,600 yuan as a token of appreciation. Wu Xiaoxue and Huamin argued for a long time before she accepted the red envelope. Huamin was no longer in the mood to work. He suddenly remembered something from a long time ago. Back then, Wu Xiaoxue was at loggerheads with her because of Ning Ziyuan. She was negligent and almost caused the death of a pregnant woman. Huamin saved the pregnant woman out of kindness and caused a storm. Fortunately, Mr. Qin helped to clean up the mess. Thinking back, she never thought that she would be so close to Wu Xiaoxue one day, visiting each other like old friends. Thinking back, she never thought that she would be able to congratulate Ning Ziyuan one day with a smile. There was no emotion in her eyes. Thinking back, she never thought that one day, everything would be in the past. Everyone around her was just a passerby. Only Qin Shu stayed with her to this day, just like when they were young. He never left her. When they walked out of Southside Recuperation Center, Wu Xiaoxue held onto Ning Ziyuan's arm. Ning Ziyuan hugged Xinyue lovingly. The couple walked slowly and chatted as they walked. "Ziyuan, tell me the truth. You loved her, right?" After hearing this, Ning Ziyuan was silent for a while. Then he nodded. "Yes." "Then why did you?" Wu Xiaoxue didn't finish her sentence. "You want to ask why I didn't give Huamian an explanation back then? If I didn't do what I did, someone like her wouldn't have left me so easily, even if it was out of responsibility, right?" Ning Ziyuan finished Wu Xiaoxue's question for her. "Yes. Now that I think about it, I was young and hot-blooded back then. There are some things that the more you like, the more you're afraid of losing. I knew that she had a boyfriend that she loved deeply overseas, and I knew that he was always in her heart. I also knew that I never entered her heart. So, when everything happened, I was so repulsed and hysterical. It all came from my lack of confidence in myself. I knew that I wasn't the man that Huamin liked. I was just a necessity for her to live an ordinary life. The moment Qin Chu came back, I felt like I had returned to my rightful owner. So, I acted like a child and threw a tantrum and even acted like a rascal. You're pretty objective to judge yourself like that. Wu Xiaoxue tilted her head and smiled at Ning Ziyuan. Look at how old I am. So many things have happened over the years. It's time for me to move on. She has a kind heart and a strong soul. My family is a medical family, and my uncle and grandpa are both excellent doctors. They've always wanted me to do the best I can. Unfortunately, no matter how hard I try, I can't be like Huamin. She's the youngest vice director in the country. She's won so many international awards. I can only look up to her. Ziyuan, don't you think I'm a failure? Wu Xiaoxue sighed. Chapter 2278. Ning Ziyuan looked at his wife gently and comforted her. Xiaoxue, everyone has their own destiny. You shouldn't compare yourself like this. Huamin is certainly outstanding, but you're not bad either. I think that anyone who works hard and believes in a good life is not bad. Oh, Dr. Ning actually knows how to use chicken soup for the soul. Wu Xiaoxue smiled coquettishly. Sometimes, chicken soup needs to be nourished. The couple chatted and laughed as they left. Deputy Director Guo was getting busier and busier. He rarely came back to the south side. Every week, Huamin would host the general meeting. After the new year, she threw herself into her busy work. Although she was tired, she felt fulfilled. In the afternoon, after seeing patients, she prepared to organize the information. When she put her phone aside, she received a WeChat notification. She opened it and saw that it was indeed a WeChat group for her, Jiang Xiaowei, and Zhu Lingling. Zhu Lingling, women come out. Jiang Xiaowei. Mrs. Director, please tell me what to do. Zhu Lingling. Dr. Jiang, don't mess around. Compared to a rich lady like you, my title as the director's wife is just an empty title. Huamin, it's the first month of the lunar year. Is it really okay for you two to kiss each other's ass on WeChat? Zhu Lingling. Oh, it's not easy to get Deputy Director Hua to come out. Jiang Xiaowei. Deputy Director Hua, you're not busy? Huamin, you two are really worrying. No matter how busy I am, I can't handle your continuous calls. Zhu Lingling. How about a family dinner this weekend? Jiang Xiaowei. Not bad, not bad. We haven't gotten together in a long time. Huamin. Nonsense. Didn't we just get together on the 8th day of the lunar year at my brother and I Yang's wedding? Zhu Lingling. That doesn't count. There are too many people and it's too noisy. Why don't you guys come to my house? Although my house isn't a villa or a mansion and can't be compared to yours, the atmosphere at my house is warm and cozy. Then, we'll go grocery shopping in advance, and each of us can make 4 specialties. How about that? Jiang Xiaowei. Forget about my signature dish. My husband said that it's a disaster for me to cook for him. Zhu Lingling. Your husband is right. The memory of the cola chicken wings you made for us last time is still fresh in my mind. It makes me want to throw up whenever I see chicken wings. Ha ha ha. Huamin watched the conversation between Zhu Lingling and Jiang Xiaowei and almost spat out the tea in his mouth. Jiang Xiaowei. So, can't we have a nice chat? Zhu Lingling. Of course. How about this? Mian and I will cook 6 dishes each, and we'll share your share. You can wash the vegetables and help us. What do you think? Jiang Xiaowei. That's a good idea. Deal. Zhu Lingling. What about Vice Director Hua? Any questions? Huamin, is it Sunday? No problem. Let's get together. It's been a while since we've had fun together. Zhu Lingling. Oh, then it's decided. Come to my house at 9 a.m. this weekend. Bring your family. I'll prepare all the vegetables and fruits. Then, we'll have a good day and relax. After chatting with them on WeChat for a while, Huamin and the doctors began their ward rounds. After a round of rounds, Huamin saw that it was almost time to get off work. Then, he began to tidy up his desk. Hua Xiqian came in at this time. He was very familiar with her new office. The moment he looked up and saw Hua Xiqian, Huamin frowned slightly. Are you going to ask me why I'm here? Huh, I even memorized your lines. Hua Xiqian looked at Huamin with a smile. I don't think you're welcome here, Huamin said bluntly. I know. Hua Xiqian nodded. Since you know your place, shouldn't you leave early? It's better for everyone. Huamin asked him to leave. I won't take up too much of your time. I came here to give you a New Year's gift. Then, Hua Xiqian picked up a big red brocade box with a red ribbon tied on it. Happy New Year, my Mian. Hua Xiqian smiled gently. Chapter 2279. Take it away. I don't care what it is. I don't want it. Huamin immediately refused. You can throw it away if you don't want it. It's up to me to give it to you. Mian, it's been too peaceful lately. I have a feeling that a storm is coming. Remember, no matter what happens, no matter what difficulties you face, I will always be by your side. I won't let anyone hurt you. Hua Xiqian said something very strange. Don't try to scare me. I won't believe you. I won't even believe a single word you say. Huamin was obviously prejudiced against Hua Xiqian. It's New Year, but you haven't grown up yet. You're still like a kid. But it's okay. I know you're getting off work, so I won't disturb you. I'm leaving. Hua Xiqian looked at Huamin with satisfaction and walked out. At the door, he suddenly remembered something. He stopped and turned around to look at Huamin. It's New Year's Eve. You must be happy, right? I heard Lu Yin is back. Hua Xiqian's words made Huamin's expression change drastically. You? Huamin wanted to say something, but he didn't know what to say. He was terrified. Don't look at me like that. Don't be afraid. Hua Xiqian smiled slightly. I know about your relationship with Ian. Are you going to tell him about Yan's whereabouts? Huamin regretted his words. He was too impatient. If Hua Xiqian was just trying to trick him, then he would have exposed Yan's whereabouts. My little sister sure knows a lot. Hua Xiqian continued to smile. Huamin stared into his eyes anxiously. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. What's between Lu Yin and Ian is their own business. Besides, Lu Yin always comes and goes in a hurry. Even if I tell Ian now, it's too late. I think she'll leave in less than 3 hours, right? Why didn't you tell Ian about my whereabouts? I heard that he's been looking for me all these years. Huamin suddenly thought of a very serious problem. Silly girl, how could you ask such a stupid question? It's so annoying and funny at the same time. Hua Xiqian looked at Huamin affectionately. I'm not going to discuss this with you. Anyway, remember, if you're in danger, I'll be more concerned and worried about you than Qin Chu. I'll be more willing to risk my life than he is. Hua Xiqian turned around after he finished speaking. Huamin was still feeling uneasy. She didn't know why, but every time she saw Hua Xiqian, she would feel uneasy. Especially when she thought about the possibility that he had another personality, she couldn't help but shudder. The red brocade box on the table was very eye-catching. Huamin opened it with her bare hands. Inside was a Chinese New Year's dress. It was a red Chinese cheongsam, but it had been modified and the sleeves were inlaid with pearls. It looked extremely elegant and luxurious. She didn't know what he was planning to give her this dress on New Year's Eve. Huamin didn't even think about it. She put the gift box away and sealed it in the cupboard under her office. She wouldn't wear anything Hua Xiqian gave her, but she also wouldn't throw it away. She didn't want to anger him and do something bad to Yin or the twins. Yending Mountain Hotel. Cece and Rick were still here on vacation. After Ni Yang's wedding, everyone left. Only the two of them stayed. Cece liked this place because she liked the white snow. Rick, do you think I should change my name? Cece hugged Rick's neck coquettishly. What name? Rick was surprised. I won't be called Nieling Si anymore. I'll be called Nie Xiaoxue, haha. I think it's better to call her Nie Xiaoqian, Rick replied with a serious expression. Chapter 2280. Cece, your joke is so cold. Rick, I'm serious. Cece, just as Cece was about to speak, she heard a knock on the door. Rick turned around with a serious expression. Come in. Godfather, we really should go. There's some trouble in the States, Rick's subordinate said as he looked at Cece, treating her as a burden. I got it. You can leave now. Rick's expression was still indifferent. No one could tell if he was happy or angry. But, Godfather, we don't have much time left. If this goes on, before the man could finish his words, he was kicked out by Rick. Get out. The man was so scared that he didn't dare to say another word. He immediately closed the door and retracted his head. Then, Cece bit her lips and sat beside Rick. She held his hand and said, Rick, you've been with me for a few days now. I know you're someone who's going to do great things. There's a lot of things waiting for you to do. So, don't stay with me all the time. Although I really want to be with you, I'm not an immature person. It's okay. Don't think too much. Rick held Cece's hand and comforted her gently. I don't want to be a burden to you, and I won't persuade you to quit like a saint. After all, you were born in that kind of environment. I know there are many things you can't do, and it's not easy for you to quit. So if you're busy, go do what you have to do. As long as you have me in your heart, you can come back to see me when you miss me. Cece obviously didn't have much confidence in the latter part of her sentence. In fact, she was very afraid of being separated from Rick. They had been separated for more than 3 years, and it was long enough. She wanted to stay with him for even a moment, but she knew it was impossible and didn't want to put pressure on Rick. But your injuries haven't healed yet. Rick put his arm around Cece's shoulder and leaned against her, his heart aching. My injuries are fine now. Didn't Sister Mion say that I just need to rest in the future? It's okay. You just need to recover. Nothing else is important. Rick decided to prioritize Cece's injuries. During this period of time, he had stayed in the country for so long. Many things were remotely controlled by phone, but it was still not as convenient as being there in person. Therefore, there was indeed some trouble in the United States, but it was nothing compared to Cece's injury. Rick spent the new year with Cece and spent more than 10 days at the hot spring hotel before and after the new year. This was something he had never experienced before. In the past 3 years, he didn't even dare to think about such leisurely days. Rick, the hotel is a bit boring. Why don't we go back to Sea City and find Sister Mion? I miss the twins. Okay, you decide. Rick had always been a man of few words. As long as it was something Cece liked, he would agree. Just like that, Rick and Cece returned to Sea City. Cece was going to bring him to meet her family. After all, they were truly in a relationship, so meeting the parents was inevitable. However, because of Rick's identity, he was afraid that he would implicate Cece's family. In the end, he decided not to visit them. That night, Rick went to look for Chu to catch up. Cece dressed up beautifully and went home to have dinner with her parents. Although her parents complained that she was unreliable for going out to play during the new year, they still forgave their younger daughter and didn't ask about her whereabouts. After dinner, Cece pushed open the door and entered her sister's room. Hi, sis, what are you doing? Seeing her sister suddenly barge in, Nialing Xian immediately put down the things in her hands and looked a bit unnatural. Chapter 2281. Whoa, what are you doing? Knitting a scarf? A man style? Cece giggled when she saw the dark blue yarn. Don't gossip. Her sister blushed. You have someone you like? Is this for President Sue? Cece knew what her sister was thinking. I don't know if he'll accept it. Nialing Xian bit her lip nervously. Sis, there are so many good men out there. Why do you like Sue Yu? Cece tried to persuade her sister. Then why haven't you been in a relationship for the past few years? Is it because you can't forget that handsome mixed-blood guy? Her sister asked. I'm not like you. I've dated him before, but you're in love with him. Sis, I'm not trying to discourage you, but I think you and Sue Yu should just forget about it. He's not reliable. He's had so many women in the past few years, but have you ever seen him fall in love with anyone? Even someone as scheming as Jian Tong couldn't win him over. Sue Yu is terrifyingly obsessed with Sister Mion. I know this, so I really don't want to see you fall in love with him. Cece knew about Sue Yu's feelings for Huomin, so she had been trying to persuade her sister not to fall in love with Sue Yu. However, love wasn't something that could be controlled by humans. If it was, there wouldn't be so many infatuated men and women in this world, nor would there be so many heartbroken people who wanted to die because of breakups. Cece, I know what I'm doing. I don't want anything, and I won't confess to President Sue. I just want to be good to him, and be good to him in secret. But you'll fall deeper and deeper. I won't, I know what I'm doing. Your profession is special. If you don't have a boyfriend, what will you do when you're past your prime? Whether you find a rich man, an elite, or a commoner, there's bound to be someone suitable for you. Sis, you're a few years older than me. Don't make mom and dad worry about you. Okay, little girl, don't lecture me as soon as you come back. I know, I understand everything you're saying. Her sister didn't say anything more. She picked up the scarf and knitted it silently. Cece's heart ached as she watched. Suyu was indeed a good man, but he only had Huamin in his heart. The whole world knew this, but was it really okay for Big Sister to like Suyu so much? After spending some time with her sister, Cece returned to her room and called Huamin. He planned to treat Qin Shu and Huamian to a meal with Rick, especially for his difficult surgery. Huamin didn't have time for the next few days, so he invited Cece and Rick to a party on the weekend. At a roadside stall on the pedestrian street, the ice and snow couldn't dampen everyone's enthusiasm. The streets were decorated with red lanterns and colored lights, giving off a festive vibe. Tang Chuan was wearing a black down jacket as he strolled around with Qin Ning. Qin Ning held the candied haws in her hands and ate happily. Isn't our hometown better? Tang Chuan asked. Yeah, it's good. Of course, you can't feel this atmosphere in Los Angeles, Tang Chuan said proudly. There's a Chinatown in Los Angeles, okay? Don't make it sound like I'm from the countryside. Qin Ning rolled her eyes. There's a Chinatown in Los Angeles, but there's no young Master Tang in Los Angeles, Tang Chuan said as he took a bite of the candied haws in Qin Ning's hands. Instantly, the haws and candied haws fell into Qin Ning's hands. Chapter 2282. Tang Chuan, you damn bastard. Come back here. Qin Ning, who was obsessed with cleanliness, threw a bowl of sticky candy and broken hawthorns at Tang Chuan. Then, Tang Chuan ran 2 steps forward. Qin Ning yelled angrily behind him. The passers-by all thought it was a couple arguing and watched with interest. There was even a woman with a child. The little girl pointed at them enviously. Mom, look, this brother and sister are so pretty. They're a perfect match. When I grow up, I want to find a boyfriend just like this brother. Okay? Okay. Then you have to work hard to be outstanding. The mother comforted her daughter as she walked past Qin Ning. What's wrong with this kid's eyes? Why does she think Tang Chuan is a model boyfriend? Does she have no taste? Qin Ning heard this and saw Tang Chuan turn around and walk back. She was about to flip out. He saw Tang Chuan holding a small, warm bowl in his hand. He held it up with both hands. Try it. Is it good? What's this? Qin Ning asked curiously. She instantly forgot about the unpleasantness from just now. Sometimes, when a foodie got serious, their integrity would drop to the ground. Fresh octopus balls. This place is very famous, Tang Chuan said proudly. Qin Ning picked up a toothpick and was about to put it in her mouth when she suddenly saw Tang Chuan up close. Her face was red from the cold. Indeed, it was cruel to let this young master walk on the streets with her in the middle of winter. This young master spent his days in cars, hotels, shopping malls, and high-end restaurants. When did he suffer like this? I thought you never came here. How do you know this place is famous? You're not tricking me, are you? Qin Ning asked. Of course not. I just posted it on my WeChat Moments and asked my friends. They're very familiar with each other. Some of them like to bring girls here to experience the life of a commoner, so it can't be wrong. Hurry up and eat. You eat first. Try it for me. Qin Ning didn't care if Tang Chuan opened his mouth and fed him one. Fortunately, Tang Chuan was smart enough to open his mouth and eat one. The truth was, Qin Ning saw that he was too cold and wanted to let him eat first, but she would never admit that she cared. Sometimes a woman in love would say one thing and mean another. This was also a kind of sweet performance. How is it? Is it good? Qin Ning asked. It's not good. Give it all to me. Huh, Tang Chuan said as he tried to snatch the food. Qi Ning immediately took a step back and used a toothpick to pick up a small meatball, taking small bites. Instantly, he felt the fragrance in his mouth overflow, and he was filled with happiness. How is it? I didn't lie to you, did I? Tang Chuan smiled. This is so good. I want more. Go and buy another bowl. Qi Ning was elated. There's no rush. It's good enough to have a taste. There are still many specialties ahead. You have to save your stomach. Okay. Qi Ning nodded happily like a child. The two of them stood by the side of the street and finished the octopus balls one bite at a time before continuing on their journey. Tang Chuan even took the time to post a selfie. He took a picture of Qi Ning's back. She was wearing a white knitted hat and a black down jacket, looking especially cute. I got a cute pet for the new year. It's so cute. Wei Liao, where did you get this pet? I want it too. Tang Chuan replied to Wei Liao, don't mess around. Sister-in-law Wei will kill you if she sees this. Wei Liao, sorry, I am your sister-in-law. Ha! Chapter 2283. Tang Chuan. I should have known that young Master Wei wouldn't be so presumptuous. Suyu, didn't someone never post PDA on his WeChat moments? Didn't he always say that PDA is the quickest way to die? Isn't he slapping himself in the face? Tang Chuan replied to Suyu, Lord Su, you're wrong. We're not PDA. Suyu, when it comes to sophistry, I'm not used to it. You're the only one I admire. Huamian, I agree with the commenter above. I'm not convinced, but I'm convinced by you. Tang Chuan replied to Huamin, damn, Vice Director Hua, good evening. Huamin, when are you sending my sister-in-law back? Are you staying the night? Tang Chuan replied to Huamin, ha ha, I wouldn't dare. Sister-in-law, give me 2 more hours. I'll send her back after we finish eating. Wei Liao, you're calling her sister-in-law already? How can you be so shameless? Tang Chuan replied to Wei Liao, I can be shameless for my wife. Suyu, young Master Tang, I'll look down on you if you continue like this. Tang Chuan replied to Suyu, you're talking as if you'll look down on me if I don't do this. Suyu, in the process of bickering, Suyu lost miserably. Suyu was obviously not convinced. He shouted, Little Bean and Pudding, come out and save me. 3 seconds later, the comment section was flooded with comments. Pudding, Uncle Tang posted that my auntie is a pet. Little Bean, a pet is a cat or a dog. Pudding, that's enough to prove that Annie is just a cat or a dog in Uncle Tang's heart. Little Bean, I've saved a screenshot. I'll show it to Annie tonight. Tang Chuan thought to himself, Ladies, please spare my life. The twins each said a few words. Tang Chuan, who was so smug just now, was about to cry in an instant. Qi Ning walked in front and looked at Tang Chuan, who was playing with his phone. She was quite dissatisfied. Tang Chuan, do you want to go shopping or not? Let's go shopping, I'll go shopping. Tang Chuan immediately put away his phone and followed him. In short, he had to let Qi Ning enjoy herself tonight. Inside a Thai restaurant, Qin Shu and Rick sat facing each other. Every time they met, they would not get drunk like other men. Instead, he talked calmly, analyzed the situation, and then asked the other party to help him solve his confusion. I didn't expect you to stay here for so long. Qin Shu looked at Rick calmly. I didn't expect it either. How's Cece recovering? Qin Shu asked. Not bad, Rick commented. You can't underestimate a gunshot wound. Although it looks like she's recovering well, you have to remember not to make any mistakes. Otherwise, it could lead to a heart attack. The place where she was shot is very sensitive. Qin Shu reminded him. Yeah, Huamin told me the same thing. What's your next plan? What do you mean? Rick raised his head and looked at Qin Shu, his eyes still calm. Both. I plan to go back to the States in a few days. As for Cece, I plan to stay with her. Stay with her? You think that's a good idea? Qin Shu frowned slightly. He didn't expect Rick to have such a plan. After all, with Rick's identity, it was extremely inconvenient to have a woman by his side. Plus, Rick had a lot of enemies. If he had Cece by his side, not only would his weaknesses be exposed, but it would also distract him. I don't have a choice, even if it's not a good idea. This incident made me see a lot of things clearly. In life, if you're always overcautious, you won't be able to live a happy life. It's better to take a risk. That's a good idea. It's like cutting off all means of retreat. It's like smashing a broken pot. Rick smiled. Chin Chu raised his glass. Your Chinese is better than mine. After the two took a sip of wine, Rick asked Chin Chu, "Did you tell Amin about that?" Chapter 2284. Not yet. At the mention of this, Chin Chu's eyes looked a little unnatural. With her intelligence, she'll definitely find out. Plus, you can't hide it for long. I think it's better to tell her. We'll talk about it later. I haven't found the right opportunity. Then you. Rick looked like he wanted to ask something. However, Chin Chu raised his wine glass and stopped him. Come, let's drink. Rick had to stop the topic. He raised his glass and drank slowly with Chin Chu. When Chin Chu got home, it was already past 9 p.m. The twins were still playing with their grandparents in the living room. Where's Mion? Chin Chu asked. Daddy, you love your wife the most. Every day, you come back to find your wife instead of your daughter. Little Bean was jealous. Chin Chu smiled dotingly and lifted Little Bean up. Ouch! Daddy, put me down. I'm scared of heights. Let's see if you still dare to argue with Daddy. Chin Chu threatened. Huh, I was just kidding. Daddy, don't be so serious. Oh my God. Sis, come and save me. My dear sister. Little Bean was lifted over Chin Chu's head. She was so scared that she cried out for Pudding. Pudding, on the other hand, calmly interrupted, Trouble comes from careless talk. You deserve it. After playing for a while, Chin Chu put Little Bean down and patted Pudding's head. How much did my goddess of stocks make today? Not much. Less than 1,000,000 yuan. Pudding replied calmly. Puffed. Sis, you have to be content. Okay? Many people can't earn this much in their lifetime. You earned this much in one day, and you said it was only 1,000,000 yuan. It's different. It's like how people who have seen roses may like wildflowers, but people who have seen eagles will never like crows. Ha, okay, you win. Little Bean laughed so hard that she rocked back and forth. There's a stock market meeting next week. I'm going to take you there. Really? Pudding's eyes lit up. She seemed a little excited. Of course, Daddy never lies. Daddy, I want to go too. Although Little Bean wasn't interested in stocks and finance, she couldn't lose to her sister. All right. After spending some time with his daughters, Chin Chu turned around and went upstairs. Old Madam Chin sighed as she drank her tea. Back then, you were worried that Chu's personality would always be so cold. Look at just now. When he looked at the two children, his eyes were about to warm up. Yes, I didn't expect that one day he would be such a loving father. It seems that I have underestimated him. Chin Chu's father sighed slightly. It's probably all thanks to Mion. He likes that girl, so naturally, he likes children. If we force him to marry someone else, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation today. Thinking back, we were really stupid back then. Mrs. Chin was a little ashamed. Grandma, did you two almost break them up? Little Bean interjected. We wanted to, but your daddy didn't give us a chance. He's so stubborn, Mrs. Chin replied. Luckily, Daddy insisted. Otherwise, we wouldn't be two adorable children. Little Bean raised her chin. Huh, my granddaughter is right. Little Bean's words made Mrs. Chin and Mr. Chin laugh. Just then, the door opened and Chin Ning came in, covered in dust, with a lot of things in her hands. Oh my God. Annie, did you go to the second-hand market? What did you buy? Little Bean jumped off the sofa and ran over. In Chin Ning's hands were all little things she bought from the pedestrian street. There were also a few dolls that she and Tang Chuan hit while throwing sandbags. So, you're having so much fun. Annie, you're planning to stay here forever, right? Pudding asked with a smile. Kid, how long have we been here? You're already tired of me? Where's Uncle Tang? Why didn't you invite him in? So that Grandpa and Grandma can see your future husband? Huh, Little Bean said too much. Her words made the old couple look over, and Chin Ning's cheeks immediately turned red. Chapter 2285. Don't talk nonsense. I doted on you guys for nothing. Whose side are you on? Qin Ning mumbled in a low voice. Ning Ning. Mrs. Qin always paid attention to family matters, so she really wanted to ask. Unfortunately, Qin Ning didn't give the old lady a chance to speak. Annie, I'm a bit tired. I'm going upstairs to take a shower. If you have any questions, we can talk tomorrow. After that, Qin Ning lowered her head and hurried up the stairs in small, quick steps. Oh, Annie is shy. She said she's not in love? Humph, who would believe that? But Uncle Tang's speed is way too fast. I thought it would take at least half a year. Auntie, you're so spineless, Little Bean pouted. Uncle Tang is already in love with her, so of course he's giving it his all. Our auntie is an unmarried girl. How can she withstand such a crazy pursuit? Pudding calmly analyzed. Yeah, you're right. Little Bean nodded thoughtfully. The twins chimed in with each other, and the old couple of the Qin family was dumbfounded. They seemed to realize that they couldn't keep up with their granddaughter's conversation. Pudding, your Annie is very innocent. Don't be fooled. Why didn't you tell your dad? Mrs. Qin asked anxiously. Don't worry, Grandma. My dad already knew. Already knew? Then why did he let her fool around? Your grandpa is very busy these days, and I don't think Ning Ning plans to go back to the States. The old lady was also anxious. My dad must think she's reliable. That's why he let her fool around. Grandma and your grandpa, don't worry about it. Plus, my grandpa has seen that guy before. Huh, Little Bean interrupted. The old couple of the Qin family was even more confused. Don't ask them. You can ask Mian and Chu tomorrow morning. Old Master Qin suggested to stop asking his granddaughter. After all, how could a pair of 4-year-old kids be trusted? After returning to her room, Qin Ning quickly took a shower. Then, she went to bed and lay under the warm blanket. She picked up her phone and saw Tang Chuan's WeChat message. For some reason, she felt an inexplicable joy. Tang Chuan, Madam, are you asleep yet? Qin Ning, I'm not sleepy. Tang Chuan, if you're not sleepy, why don't we go out and have some fun? Qin Ning, fuck off. Are you trying to tire me out? My legs don't feel like they belong to me anymore. Qin Ning rubbed her thighs. She hadn't gone shopping like this in a long time. She had a lot of fun, but it was really tiring. Tang Chuan, oh my, that's too ambiguous. Those who don't know might think we're doing something. Qin Ning, get lost, get lost. Why do your words sound so dirty? No wonder my Little Bean called you dirty. Tang Chuan, come on. Little Bean said I'm dirty. Compared to her, I'm just a kid. Your Little Bean is the real talent. No, wait, what's that saying again? The new generation surpasses the old, and I'm pushed onto the beach. Qin Ning, yes, I want to slap you to death. Tang Chuan, so ruthless? Slap me to death, and those two brats won't have an uncle. Qin Ning, shameless. Who said I was going to marry you? Tang Chuan, it's okay. You'll be mine sooner or later. You can't run away, haha. Although it was a joke, Qin Ning still felt sweet when she heard this conversation. Qin Ning, Tang Chuan. Tang Chuan, yeah? Qin Ning, thank you for taking me to the pedestrian mall today. I really had a lot of fun. I haven't felt so relaxed in a long time. Chapter 2286. She remembered how she used to fly back and forth between Los Angeles and New York like a trapeze. Every day, she faced all kinds of big and small meetings, new product launches, and weekly summaries. In short, Qin Ning had been used to this boring executive life since she was a teenager. She thought that her life would continue like this. She even thought that in the future, she might marry a foreigner or one of her father's trusted subordinates and continue to be a career woman. Ever since Tang Chuan appeared, the entire scene changed. He was like a hooligan, shamelessly coming to her side and flirting with her in all kinds of ways. He was like a playboy, but she couldn't find it repulsive. Whether it was cooking for her as a nanny in the States or serving tea and water at the company, she thought he was cute. After returning to China, he didn't even stay at home during Chinese New Year. Instead, he went to the hot spring hotel and joined in the fun with her. Every day, he told her jokes, gossiped, and made her happy. Occasionally, he would even bicker with her. Qin Ning seemed to have fallen in love with this kind of life. She knew that even if Tang Chuan was a veteran and experienced lover, he must have fallen in love with her. After all, the person involved would know if a man truly loved her or not. After hearing Qi Ning's words, Tang Chuan still asked jokingly, "Why are you being so polite?" "Qi Ning, I'm not being polite. I'm thanking you from the bottom of my heart." "Tang Chuan, you can't say thank you with words. You have to put into action." "Qi Ning, what do you want?" "Tang Chuan, don't be nervous, President Qin. What I mean is, if you want to thank me, send me a red packet. 5 yuan isn't too much, and 500 yuan isn't too little. All right, you can send up to 200 yuan at a time. I don't mind transferring money, haha." "Qi Ning, shameless is the word that suits you best right now." "Tang Chuan, so, do you have any more red packets?" Tang Chuan continued to tease her, but to his surprise, she really sent him one. Tang Chuan knew that with Qi Ning's personality, she would never send him a 520 or a 1314. As expected, Qi Ning used direct transfer, and the amount shown on the screen was 250 yuan. "Qi Ning, what? Isn't this what you want? Still not accepting?" "Tang Chuan, you're going too far, aren't you?" "Idiot." Tang Chuan also wanted to cry, but no tears came out. This aunt of his was really not going to stop. "What? If you don't like it, why don't you reject it? It'll save me money," Qi Ning replied. "TSK, I don't mind. A penny is still money." "Money? I'll take it. I'll take it as a betrothal gift." "Huh. President Qin, you must remember to marry me. Don't abandon me. After all, I'm already yours." Although they were separated by the phone screen, Qi Ning still blushed when she heard what Tang Chuan said. Then, she smiled shyly. After a while, she replied, "I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. Rest early. Don't eat breakfast at home tomorrow. I'll take you to a good place." Tang Chuan spoke in a mysterious manner. "What kind of place?" Qi Ning was curious. "Don't ask, little friend. You'll know when you get there. Go to sleep. Be good." The two of them teased each other and ended the pleasant conversation. Qi Ning also fell asleep. In the other room, when Qin Shu came back, Huamin was still awake. She was sitting on the bed, wearing anti-radiation glasses and holding a laptop. She was doing some research. "Honey, what are you doing? You're so serious." Qin Shu walked over dotingly, hugged Huamin, and kissed her on the cheek. There was no smell of cosmetics. It was Hua Min's natural body scent. It was very pleasant and Qin Shu's favorite scent. Chapter 2287. Qin Shu especially loved Hua Min, who didn't wear any makeup and was wearing beige pajamas. "I'm organizing some hospital information. I didn't finish it during the day. Dr. Hua is so hardworking. I guess I should ask President Wu to give you a raise and a promotion." Qin Shu chuckled. "I can get a raise, but not a promotion. I'm already the deputy director. If I get promoted, I'll kick President Wu out, haha," Hua Min joked. "How much longer do you have? Do you need me to help you?" Qin Shu didn't want his wife to work too hard, so he rested his chin on her shoulder and looked at the files on her computer. "It's okay. I could have finished it Southside today, but Xiao Xue and the others came. So, I chatted with them for a long time and got in the way." "Them? Who else was there besides Wu Xiaoxue? Was it Ning Ziyuan?" Qin Shu frowned slightly. Huamin immediately turned his head and rubbed Qin Shu's face with the tip of his nose. "What? Is someone jealous?" "Someone always gets jealous. You didn't even ask me for permission on such a big thing." "Dr. Hua, you're so arrogant." Qin Shu purposely pulled a long face. "Haha, I've always been arrogant. What? Come bite me if you don't like it." "You said it? Then I won't hold back." After Qin Shu spoke, he bit Hua Min's neck. Of course, he didn't use too much force. He only nibbled lightly, but this action immediately made Hua Min blush. Even a certain part of his body reacted. Stop messing around. I'm not done yet." "It's okay, I won't hold you up. I'll do it myself." After speaking, Mr. Qin continued to kiss him passionately. His teasing made Hua Min's neck red. Hua Min felt as if there were many feathers tickling his heart. "Aren't you too bad? How can I concentrate on my work when you're like this? Huamin pouted. Then why don't you cooperate with me first and then get to work? Qin Chu smirked. You're so. Huamin didn't finish her sentence because Mr. Qin didn't even give her the chance. An hour later, Huamin walked out of the bathroom in a bathrobe. His legs still felt weak. That's too much. Huamin put his hands on his hips. Honey, we're husband and wife, and this is compulsory for couples. If you weren't so tired, I would have unlocked a few new positions, Mr. Qin said with a straight face. Unlock a new position? I can't believe you said that. Huamian covered her face with her hands. She's my wife. Why can't I say it out loud? Qin Chu leaned against the headboard and smiled proudly. Okay, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I have to get back to work. Huamin held his laptop and continued to organize documents on the chaise lounge. Cece and Rick are back. I had lunch with Rick this afternoon. Yeah, Cece called me and said she wanted to have lunch with us. But she's not free for the next few days. I thought it would be a weekend get-together, so I asked them to come together. I see. Qin Chu touched the tip of his nose. What's wrong? Is something wrong? Huamin looked at Qin Chu. No, but I don't know if we can wait until the weekend. Something happened in the States, and Rick will probably leave soon. Qin Chu thought about his conversation with Rick today. Leave? What about Cece? What about Cece? Are they going to break up again? Huamian was taken aback. She thought about how hard it was for the two of them to finally be together, and how Cece almost lost her life because of it. If Rick still couldn't stay, then she would be heartbroken. Chapter 2288. He said he's going to take her with him. Qin Chu replied calmly. Take her with him? How can that be? Huamin was no longer in the mood to organize his files. He got up, walked up to the bed, and leaned on Qin Chu's shoulder. Honey, we both know about Rick's situation in the States. How can Cece? Anyway, I don't think it's a good idea. Plus, that girl named Luna is always looking for Rick. I'm worried that she'll get into trouble. In a place like the U.S., where the law is enforced, killing people is as easy as stepping on an ant. Plus, they don't give you the death penalty. Cece's so skinny, I don't think she'll be able to take it if she goes to a place like that. Rick isn't such an impulsive person. He's not impulsive. He has no other choice. After what happened this time, Rick was greatly affected. He can't leave Cece, so the best thing to do is to take her with him. Otherwise, do you think they'll be in a long-distance relationship? One in China and the other in the U.S. Is that appropriate? Qin Chu asked. Huamin was speechless. Mr. Qin's analysis was right, but would it be dangerous for Rick to take Cece with him? I know what you're worried about, but I think Rick has already thought of everything we've thought of. So, let's leave it to them. They're all adults. Qin Chu comforted Huamin. Okay, where are they leaving? Huamin looked up at Qin Chu and asked. They haven't said yet, but I think it'll be in a few days. Then I'll have to talk to Cece this weekend, Huamin said worriedly. The next morning, at the breakfast table, Mrs. Qin couldn't help but ask in a low voice, Mian, Mom wants to ask you something. Okay, go ahead. Huamin peeled an egg with one hand as he listened to his mother-in-law. Qin Ning, that girl, is she in love? Where did you hear that from? Did you hear Pudding and Little Bean talking nonsense? Don't listen to them. They're just kids. They don't know what they're talking about. Don't believe them. Huamin didn't expect Grandma to ask him this question in the morning. No, I felt it myself. Look at Ning Ning. She used to be in a hurry every time she came back to China. She's such a career-minded child and can't wait to see what's going on at the headquarters every day. This time, after the new year, she's like a different person. She doesn't even bother to leave. Your second uncle called to urge her to come back a few times, but she kept stammering and refusing. She also came back late last night. As far as I know, she doesn't have any friends here. Isn't it obvious that she has met a boy? I heard from Chu that she's from the Tang family. Is that true? Yes, it's the youngest son of the Tang family. Huamin nodded. That won't do. I firmly disagree. Upon hearing this, old Madam Qin's face immediately darkened. Mom, why don't you agree? The Tang family is also a prestigious family. Isn't that good? They're well matched in terms of social status. Huamin said in a low voice. He knew that his mother-in-law was still old-fashioned and seemed to place a lot of emphasis on family background and status. It's not that. The Tang family has a bad reputation. No matter if it's the old or the young, they have a bad reputation. Didn't the third son of the Tang family marry a much younger wife? His previous wife was a good person. I've met her before. I didn't think that he would be charmed by a vixen. Also, I heard that he's going to divorce again. This time, he got an even younger wife. How unreliable. Chapter 2289. Mom, there are a lot of people in the Tang family. Not everyone is like that. You can't generalize. Huamin disagreed with his mother-in-law and tried to defend Tang Chuan. That won't do. Chu, you've always been the calmest. You don't let your emotions get the better of you, Mrs. Qin said. Huamin didn't know what to say. She raised her voice and asked her son to be the judge. What is it, Mom? Qin Chu was confused by his mother's question. It's about our Ning Ning and that guy from the Tang family. You have to stop them. Why should I stop them? Ning Ning is old. Isn't it good for her to be in a relationship? Qin Chu was calm. Dating is fine, but you have to choose the right person. The Tang family is just a bunch of people. They change women faster than they change clothes just because they have some money. If the upper beam is not straight, the lower beam will be crooked. They don't have good family values. No, I don't agree. Mom, Huamin wanted to say something else. I know that guy. He's your friend and often comes to our house as a guest. But you can't marry him. Son, you should know what kind of person he is. That kind of behavior is unacceptable. I'll talk to your uncle about this and ask him to take Ning Ning back. She can't stay here any longer. Mrs. Qin was very domineering when she was young. She liked to meddle in other people's business and make decisions inside and outside the house. She was also very against the relationship between Qin Chu and Huamin. She even made the two families hostile for many years because of this. She also made Qin Chu and Huamin separate for 7 years. Now that Mrs. Qin was acting like this, to be honest, Huamin felt very uncomfortable. It wasn't that he was against his mother-in-law, nor was he prejudiced against her. He just felt that Mrs. Qin was old and had a generation gap with young people. Mom, don't worry about this. Qin Chu obviously didn't agree with his mother. That's right, Mom. We're all old. Let's just enjoy our lives. Let the children make their own decisions. Qin Chu's father also tried to persuade his wife. That won't do. I'm doing this for Ning Ning's own good. I don't care if it's an outsider. Why are all of you targeting me? The old lady was so angry that she threw the half-eaten bun on the table with a dark face. This made everyone feel very awkward. Seeing this, Huamin didn't dare to say anything. After all, they were elders. It wasn't good to quarrel so early in the morning over such a trivial matter. Therefore, she gave Qin Chu a look, indicating for him to stop talking. Qin Chu sighed slightly. Then, he looked at the twins who were eating happily and said, Pudding, little bean, hurry up and persuade Grandma. Daddy is going to use us again. Pudding said calmly. So, Grandma is so angry and no one dares to say anything. Can we really do it? Little Bean said helplessly. The twins' cute behavior made Qin Chu and Huamin laugh. If we don't do anything, it'll seem like we're not a part of this family. Pudding continued. Little Bean took a tissue and wiped the milk off the corner of her mouth. She sighed and said, If that's the case, let's try. After all, Daddy only asked us for help because he had no other choice. We have to give him face. Yeah, Daddy is always so nice to you. Now that Grandma is angry, shouldn't you say something? Qin Chu looked at the twins gently. Don't try to persuade me. I'm not eating. I'm angry with you guys. Mrs. Qin was old, so her temper rose. Chapter 2290. People often said that old people were like children. Once a person got old, he or she would regain their youthfulness and become more childish. It made people angry and amused at the same time. It was also very difficult to communicate with them. Grandma, if you don't want to eat, I won't eat either. I'll starve with you. I know that starving will affect my growth, but for you, I'd rather not grow taller. Little Bean expressed her determination. Oh, my little baby, you can't do that. You usually have a good appetite and can eat at least 2 meat buns. You only ate 1 today. No, you have to eat. Hearing her granddaughter's words, Lady Cheen's heart softened and she tried to coax Little Bean. No, Grandma, I won't eat. I won't eat. Little Bean insisted. Good girl, Grandma will eat. You have to eat before it gets cold. Your stomach can't take it. Then, Lady Cheen immediately picked up the meat buns and drank the millet porridge. Little Bean gave Cheen Chu an okay sign, meaning that she was done. Pudding said slowly, Grandma, let me tell you, Uncle Tang is a very nice person. Ever since we could talk and walk, we've been playing with him. He's handsome Sue's best friend, just like Uncle Wei. Think about it. Birds of a feather flock together. Someone who can hang out with handsome Sue and Uncle Wei can't be a bad person. You're overthinking it this time. Huh? Is that so? Lady Cheen looked at Cheen Chu and then at Huamin in confusion. Yes. Tang Chuan is Su Yu's childhood friend. Cheen Chu and I have known each other for years. Mom, he's not what you think. Plus, second uncle knows that he's pursuing Ning because he went to the States and stayed with second uncle for more than a month. Really? Why didn't your second uncle mention it? Lady Cheen was dumbfounded. Second uncle is so busy. He doesn't have time to talk to you about this. Cheen Chu lowered his head and drank the lemon tea. Cheen Chu's father glanced at his wife and said, See, I told you. Second brother knows what he's doing. We don't have to worry about him. So, Grandma, don't worry. Annie won't be with a nobody, Pudding said. If that's the case, then I'll be relieved. Old Madam Cheen finally stopped being pretentious. Huamin gave his 2 daughters a thumbs up. After breakfast, they walked out of the house and went to the parking lot to pick up the car. Huamin smiled and said, Hubby, your daughter is really amazing. The moment she stepped in, she immediately settled our mother. It's all thanks to my wife, Cheen Chu complimented. No, it's your family's genes that are good. No, it's because my wife is a genius. That's why they have a high EQ. Let's stop praising each other. If we don't drive out now, we'll be late. Then, Huamin wrapped her arms around Mr. Cheen's neck and kissed him gently on the corner of his mouth. Then, they got into their respective cars and left. What are you looking at? Why are you so engrossed? Pudding walked over and saw Little Bean staring blankly out the window. Daddy and Mommy are already so old, but they're always showing off their love. It makes us single dogs suffer, Little Bean sighed. Calm down, you're only 4 years old. Even if you fall in love at 16, you'll still be single for 12 years, Pudding added. Little Bean was immediately hurt by her words. Sis, if Daddy and Mommy have a second child in the future, do you think her status will drop? Little Bean suddenly asked. What do you think? Pudding asked calmly. I think Daddy will love us more. After all, it's a father's nature to love his daughters. But Grandpa, Grandma, and Mommy will probably love us more. Just thinking about this makes me so annoyed. Little Bean cupped her chubby little face. I don't think so. Pudding smiled and sat down next to Little Bean. Oh, so my awesome sis, what do you think? Little Bean tilted her head and looked at her sister with interest. Chapter 2291. I think that after Daddy and Mommy have a second child, we'll have another scapegoat. Ha ha. Sis, you're so smart. Little Bean laughed out loud after hearing her sister's words. Am I wrong? Haven't you noticed that Daddy and Mommy rely on us a lot? No matter what they can't solve, they always make us their scapegoats. For example, what happened at breakfast this morning? It's not like you don't know how scary Grandma is when she's angry. We were just sent to the gunpoint. Pudding bit her lip, feeling wronged. Sis, now that you mention it, I think you're right. Little Bean suddenly realized. So, I want to have a second child as soon as possible so that we can share the burden. Pudding proudly crossed her arms in front of her chest, looking serious. Little Bean lowered her head and put her 2 index fingers together, as if she was thinking of a bad idea. Sis, you're right. So, I think we should help Daddy and Mommy have a second child as soon as possible. What do you think? That's Daddy and Mommy's business. How can we help? Pudding was a little dumbfounded. We can poke all the condoms in their room with needles. That way, Little Bean said with a straight face. Pudding almost choked when she heard this. Ahem. Sis, are you okay? Little Bean didn't seem to realize how shocking her words were. Little Bean, you're going to kill me. I really regret not bringing a lightning rod when I talk to you. Pudding sighed. You still haven't told me what my idea is. It's pretty bad. I'm just wondering how you came up with such a dirty idea. No wonder Annie Lingling and Annie Xiaowei said you were dirty. Even Gao Buiyuan was led astray by you when he played with you a few times. What's going on in that little head of yours? At this moment, Pudding suspected that she and Little Bean weren't born from the same mother. She suspected that the nurse in the room next door had misdiagnosed her. Why were their personalities so different? Come on, I'm just trying to think of a way. Little Bean looked innocent. You can't think of a way like that. No, it won't work. Pudding quickly waved her hands. Why not? You don't dare? Are you afraid that Mommy will beat us up? It's not about whether I beat him up or not. A second child. Let nature take its course. Do you think giving birth is as simple as a hen laying eggs? One a day? Do you think it's for fun? Okay. I won't say it anymore. Little Bean was still feeling wronged. The topic of his parents wanting a second child came to an end. However, after listening to Pudding's analysis, Little Bean had a new perspective on this matter. She seemed to be hoping that Daddy and Mommy would have another baby. If it was a little sister, she could pick up their clothes. If it was a little brother, then he could take the blame for them. It was perfect. Time flies, and it's the weekend. Early in the morning, everyone began to pack their things and went to Zhu Lingling's house. Zhu Lingling and Gao Ran moved to a new house because of Gao Ran's work. This house with 3 bedrooms, 2 living rooms, and 2 bathrooms was 180 square meters. It was located in a high-end neighborhood near the Municipal Public Security Bureau. The people who lived here were all high-ranking officials and dignitaries. Because the Municipal Public Security Bureau often had unexpected cases, Gao Ran and Zhu Lingling moved in a year ago to make it more convenient for them to deal with cases in the middle of the night. The interior was very luxurious. Chapter 2292. The family of 3 was used to living here. Zhu Lingling's family was the only one without a nanny because Gao Buiyin was already in kindergarten. Gao Ran was working, and Zhu Lingling had her own shop, so she was able to take care of the father and son's daily needs. Everyone felt at ease at their house because the neighborhood was very strict and was close to the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Therefore, there wouldn't be any reporters following them. Huomin's family was the first to arrive. The family of 4 drove a black Bentley and slowly drove into the neighborhood. Since it was a private party, the family of 4 was dressed very casually. Huomin and Qin Chu wore matching outfits, which was rare for them. Huomin's outfit was beige with English letters on the front. It looked very trendy. Qin Chu's outfit was navy blue with the same English letters. They both wore white limited edition sports shoes from a famous brand. Pudding and Little Bean, on the other hand, were wearing red sportswear and had the same English alphabet as their parents. As soon as they walked in, Zhu Lingling exclaimed, "Wow, this is the first time I've seen you guys in matching outfits. You look so cool. This is the first time you've seen Mr. Qin dressed so casually, right?" Huomin laughed. "Yes, most of the time I've seen him in suits. Annie Lingling, do you think my daddy looked better in a suit or casual clothes?" Little Bean asked. "Your daddy is so handsome that he looks good even in a beggar's outfit." "Ha!" Zhu Lingling joked. "Are you praising my husband? Or are you praising my husband? Or are you complimenting my husband?" Huomin couldn't help but laugh. "Of course I'm complimenting your husband. Don't you know how handsome your husband is?" Zhu Lingling pouted. At this moment, Pudding asked with cold humor, "So, Annie Lingling, do you want to switch husbands with my mommy?" Uff. Zhu Lingling almost choked. "Pudding, are you trying to sell your daddy out?" Huomin tilted his head and smiled. Qin Shu, on the other hand, didn't want to get involved in this boring topic with them. He walked directly to the refrigerator and took out a can of iced cola. Then, he walked to Gao Ran's room while drinking. Gao Ran was actually playing games in front of the computer. Gao Ran was in the middle of the fight. He didn't even turn his head as he spoke. The great bureau chief is actually playing online games at home so early in the morning. How unbelievable. Qin Shu leaned against the windowsill and teased. So what if I'm a bureau chief? A bureau chief is also a human being. He needs to eat and shit too. This is my private time, understand? After saying that, Gao Ran even pulled Qin Shu over. Come. Open my laptop. Let's have a match. No. Mr. Qin refused. Why? Gao Ran was dumbfounded. Because your game is too crappy, Mr. Qin said proudly. Fuck, you're humiliating me. No, we have to have a one-on-one duel. Come. Gao Ran didn't want to admit defeat. In the end, Mr. Qin couldn't refuse Gao Ran's invitation. He slowly walked over and opened Gao Ran's laptop. The two grown men began their battle for supremacy in online games. Ever since Qin Shu graduated from high school, he rarely played online games. However, he knew all the popular online games. He was a genius. Therefore, he beat Gao Ran over and over again. However, Gao Ran refused to accept it. After being beaten over and over again, he continued to look for more. Huomin took off his jacket and asked Zhu Lingling, "They'll be here soon. Why don't we go over the menu first?" Chapter 2293. There's no need to research. I bought a lot of vegetables and meat. We'll improvise when the time comes. You could just pick some ingredients to cook. Anyway, we're not here to eat. We're just here to have fun. Zhu Lingling wasn't a person who cared about trifles. When she bought groceries, she almost carried the entire supermarket and didn't choose carefully. This was even more difficult for a Virgo like Huomian. She was a perfectionist. You're putting me in a difficult position. Huomin complained with her hands on her hips. Don't worry. We still have a lot of time. Take your time. Oh, I'll give you an apron. Then, Zhu Lingling took out a small floral apron and put on Huomin. She instantly turned into a cook. The two women went into the kitchen and began to study the menu for lunch. Pudding sat in the living room and turned on the TV. She was watching the speeches of several stock market experts on the finance channel. Sis, let's go, Pudding said with a smile. Where to? Pudding was confused. To find Gao Buiyuan. Didn't you hear Annie Lingling say that Gao Buiyuan is still in bed? That's why we have to go. Let's see if we can make him walk out naked or something, Pudding said shamelessly. Then go by yourself. Hearing this, Pudding was even more reluctant to go. What's the point of watching TV? A bunch of self-righteous experts bragging. It's so boring. It's better to listen to Uncle Tang brag. Pudding seemed to be bored by her sister watching TV. Everyone has their own interests. Don't interfere, okay? If you want to flirt with Gao Buiyuan, you can go by yourself, Pudding said slowly. Okay. I'll go by myself. Then, Pudding whistled like a female pervert and walked towards Gao Buiyuan's room. Gao Buiyuan didn't have to go to kindergarten on the weekend, so he was allowed to watch some cartoons last night. He overslept this morning. Zhu Lingling didn't want to wake him up because she loved her son. So, when Pudding went in, Gao Buiyuan was still sleeping soundly. The blankets were all minions, so cute. Damn, he's so childish. Even his blanket is made of cartoon characters, Little Bean mumbled. She walked up to Gao Buiyuan and watched him snoring and drooling. She reached out and lifted the quilt. Then, he sneaked a peek and was slightly disappointed. What? You're wearing so much. It turned out that Gao Buiyuan was wearing a thin long-sleeved shirt and trousers. Little Bean's desire to expose him was instantly extinguished. Gao Buiyuan didn't seem to realize that his quilt was lifted. He turned over and went back to sleep. Little Bean's eyes darted around, and she suddenly had an idea. She first leaned over to Gao Buiyuan's ear and whispered, "Meow, meow, meow." Didn't respond. "Woof, woof, woof." Little Bean barked like a dog again. There was still no response. Little Bean lost her patience and slapped Gao Buiyuan on the back. Then he quickly lowered his head and hid under the edge of the bed. Gao Buiyuan was startled by the sudden slap. He opened his eyes in a daze but there was no one around. He was puzzled. Could it be that he was dreaming? He lay down and closed his eyes. Then he was slapped again. This time, Gao Buyuan felt it and sat up. He looked around, but there was still no one around. 3 seconds later, Gao Buyuan rushed out, wailing like a ghost and howling like a wolf. Oh my God, there's a ghost. It turned out that the kid thought it was the ghost who was causing trouble, so he was so scared that he ran away. Chapter 2294. What's going on? Pudding was watching TV in the living room and shivered in fear. She immediately realized it must be her daughter's doing. Mom, come out. Where are you? Gao Buyin was so scared that he called out for his mom. Zhu Lingling heard her son scream and ran out of the kitchen, followed by Huomin. Then, Gao ran and Qin Chu came out from the other room. They looked at Gao Buyin. Son, what's wrong? Zhu Lingling hugged the little boy. There's a ghost in my room. A ghost? Are you kidding me? Zhu Lingling frowned. Son, it's daytime. Did you have a nightmare? Gao Ran was also confused by his son's words. No, it's not a dream. It's real. I was hit by a ghost. I was scared to death. Gao Buyin was so scared that he hugged Zhu Lingling's neck tightly. I'll go check it out. Gao Ran was about to go when Pudding said, Uncle Gao, it's not a ghost. It might be Little Bean playing with Buyuan. In fact, Pudding felt embarrassed after she said that. Hearing Little Bean's words, Qin Chu and Huomin's faces fell, knowing their daughter must have caused trouble. Little Bean, come out. Huomin yelled in a serious tone. Mommy. Little Bean seemed to know she had caused trouble and walked out of the room with her head down. Qin Mumu, how dare you play with me? Gao Buyuan was really angry. His lazy nap was disturbed by this girl and almost scared out his wits. Little brother Buyuan, I'm just playing with you. Why did you take it seriously? Little Bean began to act cute. How can you play with me like that? You're trying to scare me to death. Any me on. I think Little Bean needs a beating. Gao Buyuan knew why Little Bean was so scared of Huomin, so he complained. Mommy, I really didn't do it on purpose. I was just teasing him. Little Bean pouted. That's good. They're all kids. It's okay. Zhu Lingling tried to smooth things over, afraid that Huomin would teach Little Bean a lesson. Son, you're also finished. You were scared by a little girl. How can you be a police officer with your dad in the future? Gao Ran laughed. What does this have to do with being a police officer? She's purposely pranking me. This is unforgivable. Humph. Obviously, the handsome guy was angry. Little Bean, why are you still standing there? Why aren't you apologizing to Buyuan? Pudding saw her mother's expression and was afraid that her sister would be beaten. Hurry up and give her ideas. Hearing her sister's words, she immediately ran over and took Gao Buyuan's hand. Buyuan, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I just wanted to get you up and play with us. I haven't seen you for a long time, and I really miss you. Come on, give me a kiss. After saying this, Little Bean kissed Gao Buyuan on the cheek. Gao Buyuan's face immediately turned red. Obviously, he didn't have much confidence. Gao Ran nudged Qin Chu with his elbow. Look. Mr. Qin, your daughter is playing the honey trap at such a young age. Your son seems to enjoy it too, Qin Chu said calmly. Zhu Lingling couldn't help but chuckle. Son, Little Bean has already apologized. Don't hold it against her, okay? Let's be men. Look at Wei Yin Chu. He doesn't make a fuss over nothing. Chapter 2295. Wei Yin Chu is so lucky to be with Pudding. Why am I so unlucky? Gao Buyuan crossed his arms and said angrily. Pudding pouted. Hey, Gao Buyuan, what do you mean by that? You seem to feel wronged about our marriage. If you don't like it, we can change. I'll go find Wei Yin Chu, and you can be with my sister. But let me warn you, my sister has more tricks up her sleeves than I do. Don't cry when the time comes and don't regret it. You don't know how lucky you are. Then, Pudding turned around and ran to the balcony, ignoring everyone else. Gosh, you two are already talking about your marriage. How embarrassing. But, Gao Buyuan, you're shameless. Little Bean must be mad. Go and comfort her. Gao Ran encouraged his son. She was the one who started it. How did it become my fault? Gao Biyun was also confused. So, you two are fighting and you want Wei Yunchu and me to be implicated? Pudding glanced at them quietly, expressing her helplessness. Okay. Since there's nothing else, let's go back to the kitchen. Geez, you're wasting my time. Then, Zhu Lingling dragged Huamin back into the kitchen. Gao Ren also dragged Qin Chu back to the study to play games. Pudding was still calmly watching TV and eating fruit as if nothing had happened. Gao Buyin went into his room to change and wash his face. When he came out, he found that Pudding was still mad. Pudding, is she still mad? Gao Buyin asked in a small voice. What do you think? Pudding tilted her head and looked at him. Then what should we do? Gao Buyin was at a loss. Comfort her, how? I don't know how. Gao Buyin was in a difficult position. Let me give you a reminder. Pudding likes jam. Then, Pudding continued watching TV. Gao Buyin immediately understood. He ran to the snack cabinet in his room, took out a bag of Oreos and a piece of chocolate, and walked over. Little Bean, he called. Pudding pretended not to see him. Little Bean, don't be mad. Go away. Don't bother with me. Don't you hate me? Don't you like Big Sister? No, I didn't mean that. I just said it casually. Huh. Just like you, I was just teasing you. Girls teasing boys is teasing, and boys teasing girls is bullying. Do you understand? Little Bean said righteously. Really? Gao Buyin scratched his head, not knowing what to do. I used to think that even though you're a little ugly, you're silly and cute. I didn't expect you to be so vulgar. You even compared yourself to Wei Yunchu. You're such an idiot. I don't like you anymore. I kissed you for nothing. You dirted my mouth. Then, Little Bean wiped her mouth carelessly. Gao Buyin thought for a long time and said, How about I kiss you back and return it to you? Fuck you. Little Bean was on the verge of breaking down. Little Bean, don't be mad. Here, have some Oreos. Gao Buyin raised his left hand and handed her an Oreo. Little Bean glanced at him. You want to bribe me with a bag of crappy biscuits? No way. Do you want the chocolate? My mom handmade it. She bought all the ingredients herself. It's delicious and soft. Gao Buyin continued to tempt her. Chocolate. Seeing the food, Little Bean's heart softened. Here, have a bite. Gao Buyin continued to tempt her. I can't be so shameless. If I eat your chocolate, I'll forgive you. I don't want it. Humph. Little Bean clenched her teeth and insisted. Chapter 2296. I see. Forget it then. I'll give it to Pudding. You can have some alone time. I won't disturb you. With that, Gao Buyin turned to leave. Stop, what? Gao Buyin turned around. Are you apologizing or not? Gao Buyin, do you have any sincerity? Little Bean was not convinced. I am sincere. Otherwise, why would I try so hard to please you? I'm not that free. Then, open the chocolate for me. Little Bean said in a low voice. Okay. Gao Buyin smiled and opened the chocolate for her. Little Bean took it and took a bite. Then, she nodded with satisfaction. The taste is indeed different. Have some. I have a lot more at home. Oh, I'll bring you some when I leave. Okay. Little Bean finally smiled. Looking at the two, Pudding was bored. She took out her phone and sent a WeChat message to Suyu. Pudding. Handsome Sue, where are you? Suyu, what's up, Pudding? Pudding, it's so annoying to see someone showing off their love in front of me. Come and play chess with me. Suyu. Pudding, I'm at the airport. Pudding, the airport? Why are you at the airport? Suyu, I'm on a business trip. I'm invited to the annual meeting of my partner's company. Pudding, I thought you would come to the party today. For a moment, Pudding was very disappointed. Suyu, I know about the party. Your mom told me about it. Unfortunately, it's happening at the same time. I'm afraid I'll go next time. There will be a lot of parties anyway. Pudding, okay. Be careful. Tell them you're safe when you land. Suyu, I know. Kiddo, don't worry about me. Have fun with Pudding and Little Bean. Bully Wei Yunshu and Gao Buyin. Pudding, I don't need you to tell me that. Suyu, haha. Good job. After texting Suyu, Pudding went back to watching TV calmly. Not long after, everyone arrived one after another, and the room suddenly became lively. and Aiyang and Chen Jie bought a lot of delicious fruits and snacks for the children. Chen Jie was very virtuous and went straight into the kitchen to help. And Aiyang sat on the sofa and watched TV with Pudding. Then there was Wei Liao and Jiang Xiaowei's family of 3. Wei Yinshu had a good relationship with Gao Buiyuan because they were both boys. The 3 kids ran into Gao Buiyuan's room and played with all kinds of toy guns. Rick and Cece came next. They kept a low profile and also bought a lot of fruits and food. Rick went straight to the study to look for Qin Shu, while Cece went into the kitchen to help wash the vegetables. The last to arrive were Tang Chuan and Qin Ning. The 2 of them arrived late. When they arrived, it was almost lunchtime. "Lord Tang, you're late. No, you have to drink 3 cups as punishment." Wei Liao joked. "No problem. I'll be fine even if I drink 6 cups. Ha! I came here today with a target that I'd like to fight," Tang Chuan said. "What goal?" Huamin chuckled. "Drink all of you until you're drunk." Tang Chuan waved his hand and bragged without thinking. Huh. Why do I feel like we're short of people? Where's Lord Su? Jiang Xiaowei didn't know that Suyu wasn't coming, so she asked curiously. "Mian, didn't you tell Suyu?" Zhu Lingling remembered that Huamin told her to tell Suyu. "I told him. Suyu said he had something to do today and won't be coming. I think he's on a business trip," Huamin recalled. Pudding nodded. "I just sent Handsome Su a WeChat message. He's at the airport." "Oh, I see. That's too bad. I thought it would be a big party." Zhu Lingling was a bit disappointed. "It's good that Lord Su isn't coming. He's going to lie low for a while." Tang Chuan interrupted. "What do you mean? Did Suyu get into trouble?" Huamin looked at Tang Chuan in confusion. "Don't tell me you guys don't know about the rumor about Lord Su." Tang Chuan looked at everyone curiously. "What rumor?" Huamin's heart skipped a beat and he asked seriously. Chapter 2297. It looks like you guys really don't know. Tang Chuan didn't say it was a rumor and continued to talk about it. Everyone's faces were filled with confusion. "Uncle Tang, if you don't hurry up, I think my mom is going to flip out," Pudding said calmly. Everyone knew that Huamin cared a lot about Suyu. Although she never had any romantic feelings for him, she was always grateful that he took care of her and her mother over the years. Therefore, she was always considerate of Suyu. At first, Mr. Qin was slightly jealous, but later, he understood how his wife felt. "Don't be like that. Vice Director Hua is scary when she flips out. I'll tell you, okay? Looking at your confused faces, I know that you guys don't know. Here's the thing. Rumors started in the industry that Lord Su doesn't like women anymore and likes men. When he was young, he had enough of women and now he's changed his taste. They even suspect that he's having an affair with his assistant. And, Tang Chuan cut the long story short. Everyone's reaction was as interesting as it could get. Zhu Lingling. Ha ha ha, really? That's so melodramatic. Do they really think this is the most melodramatic drama of the year? Homosexuality? Oh my god. Gao ran. This is a bit ridiculous. Suyu would be furious if he knew. Tang Chuan. He doesn't know yet. Who would dare to tell him? With his temper, he'd flip the world upside down. Plus, people in the industry only dare to talk about it in private. No one dares to offend him. And Aiyang, people in the company did talk about it, but they didn't dare to make a big deal out of it. They were afraid that President Su would get mad. All the celebrities seemed to know about it. I heard that a few of them tried to get close to President Su, but he rejected them all. CC, but you can't say that President Su is gay, right? My sister also has a crush on President Su. She knitted him a scarf, but President Su rejected her. If he rejected her, it means he doesn't love her. It has nothing to do with being gay. These people really have nothing better to do. Even Cece started to stand up for Suyu. Rick handed Cece a glass of water. "Calm down, you're still injured," Rick reminded her in a low voice. Wei Liao. This happened a few years ago. Back then, there were rumors that young Master Su, young Master Tang, and I were all gay. After I got married, Tang Chuan started fooling around, and young Master Su confessed to Huamian. The rumors died down. Why are you bringing it up again? Jiang Xiaowei. Those people are just blindly making a fuss. We're sick of hearing these words. And they're hiding. They're hiding like they don't know where they are, and they're hiding. They's like they're hiding. They's like hiding there's like they're hiding. And they've been spreading their they read like that. Pudding said calmly. Then, she took out her phone and opened Weibo. Mian, what do you think? Zhu Lingling asked Huamin with a smile. Everyone knows that Su Yu isn't gay. There's nothing to say about it. Smart people don't believe in rumors. If people continue to cause trouble, Su Yu won't forgive them, Huamin said word by word. That's for sure. Our Lord Su's temper is like heaven and earth. It's a good thing he went on a business trip. Otherwise, who knows how angry he would be right now. Tang Chuan exclaimed. It happened a few days ago. Why didn't you tell us? Wei Liao complained. Chapter 2298. I didn't think much of it. I thought it would be over in a few days. Who knew that it would get more and more dangerous? Now, it's even related to an... Tang Chuan replied. Then, do you guys think that Su Yu took things too hard and... Qi Ning didn't know much about Su Yu. She only knew that Su Yu had been in love with his sister-in-law for years without any regrets. So, she guessed that Su Yu had a crush on her and couldn't get her, so he changed his mind, and before Huamin could refute Qi Ning's words, Qin Shu, who had been silent the whole time, spoke up. No, he won't do that no matter what. See, even President Qin, his love rival, is trying to clear Lord Su's name. Ning, don't talk nonsense, okay? It's about Lord Su's innocence. I'll get someone to look into it later. Everyone, pay attention to the situation, Gao Ran concluded. Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. It's disgusting to hear. Let's eat. Then, Zhu Lingling stood up and began serving the dishes with Huamin and Chen Jie. In the end, a table full of sumptuous dishes was served, squeezing the large square table to the point that there was no space left. Wow, didn't you say there were 12 dishes? There are 20 dishes now, right? Tang Chuan asked greedily. There were 12 dishes, but Jie came. She's even more virtuous than us. She made a few more dishes. Everyone's in luck today. Mian said that Jie's cooking is really good. I can attest to that. She's really good. And Aiyong smiled. Don't be so smug. Keep a low profile, okay? Chen Jie pushed in Aiyong shyly, looking a little embarrassed. Just like that, everyone sat around the table and began eating. Huamin carefully picked out some dishes from a small plate and placed them on a coffee table on the other side. Pudding, Little Bean, Gaobuin, and Wei Yinshu sat at another table. Eat well. Don't fight, don't cause trouble. Huamin looked at Little Bean worriedly. Huamin felt guilty at the thought of how she had pranked Gao Buyuan in the morning and how he had been so scared. She didn't know why she and Mr. Qin, who were both so reserved, would give birth to such a naughty child. Moreover, it was a daughter. I know, Mommy. Don't worry. Little Bean promised like a little adult. As the host, I like to raise a glass of wine to thank everyone for coming to my house as guests. I really like this atmosphere. We'll have to gather more often in the future. Gao Ran seemed to be in a good mood. Come on, cheers. Tang Chuan was very good at livening up the atmosphere. The group of people began to eat and drink, and the atmosphere was very good. Even Rick, who was a man of few words, would smile from time to time when he was amused by everyone. Sis, why aren't you eating? Little Bean silently looked at Pudding, who was holding her phone. I'm fighting. Fighting? With who? Little Bean was confused. With those anti-fans on Weibo. They're so mean, they even went to Handsome Sue's Weibo to talk about it. Handsome Sue will be very sad if he sees it. Pudding was obviously unhappy. Little Bean leaned over to take a look. Sure enough, her sister and those anti-fans were having a heated argument. Sis, how about this? I suggest we eat first. After we're full, I'll fight them with you. What do you think? Little Bean persuaded. Chapter 2299. Yeah, Pudding. Eat first so that you have the energy to do other things. Galbui Yuan was more obedient. He was the fattest of the 4 children. His body was very strong, and he was never picky about food. Pudding was in a bad mood. She only replied quietly, "I don't have much of an appetite. You 3 eat first." Galbui Yuan held his bowl and whispered to Wei Yunshu, "Aren't you going to talk to your wife?" After saying that, Galbui Yuan was still worried that Wei Yunshu would be angry. Unexpectedly, he only blushed slightly and put a piece of shiitake mushroom into Pudding's bowl. "Auntie Mion said that you like shiitake mushrooms. This is delicious. Try it." Wei Yunshu looked at Pudding. "Thank you." Pudding picked up a piece of shiitake mushroom with her chopsticks and put it in her mouth. Then, she continued to scroll through Weibo. Tang Chuan was right. This incident had indeed started to spread on Weibo. Someone even took a lot of photos of Suyu, and as his bodyguard, I had to follow Suyu everywhere he went. Some people started to use this as an excuse. They wrote, "Suyu is a pervert who likes male assistants." Ouch! Disgusting. Pudding couldn't stand it, especially when Suyu was so sacred in her heart. She replied, "Shut up if you don't know how to talk. Don't ruin your good karma." Suyu was on a business trip and spent more than 3 hours on the plane. He didn't turn on his phone. Pudding sent him a WeChat message, but he didn't reply. In fact, Suyu rarely went on Weibo. He used it because Huamin used it. After scrolling for a long time, Pudding finally saw someone who was willing to speak up for Suyu. It was Nie Lingxian, Cece's biological sister. She said on Weibo, "Please don't listen to the rumors. Suyu is a boss worthy of our respect. Imperial Star will always love him. Wise people don't believe in rumors. I hope this incident will end here. Otherwise, our company will hold them responsible." After she finished speaking, many female stars from Imperial Star followed suit and spoke up for Suyu. Pudding walked up to Ni Yang with her phone in hand and whispered, "Uncle, say something for handsome Su. Hurry up, you're very popular." "Okay." Ni Yang smiled and patted Pudding's little head. She took out her phone and reposted Nieling Xuan's post. "President Su, you've always been open and above board. Some people shouldn't make things up out of nothing. Otherwise, we won't tolerate it." It was a short sentence, but it was sonorous and powerful, which was very much in line with Ni Yang's style. After he said that, Ni Yang's true fans immediately jumped out to defend Suyu. Pudding was still not in the mood to eat. After Gao Buyuan and Little Bean finished eating, they ran into the house to play hide-and-seek. Pudding was still holding her phone, and she seemed to have something on her mind. Wei Yunshu was the same as his father. He wasn't a talkative person, so he didn't know what to say. After a while, he took out a lollipop from his bag and walked over to Pudding. "Pudding, here, have a lollipop first." "I'm not Little Bean. Why are you giving me a lollipop?" Pudding asked with a smile. "Because you're in a bad mood. Mommy said that when you're in a bad mood and feel bitter, you should eat a lollipop. It'll be sweet. There's nothing you can't get through in life." Wei Yunshu carefully recalled his mother's words and tried to comfort Pudding. "It's okay. I just feel bad when I see those trash talk about handsome Su like that," Pudding said angrily. "Pudding, do you really like Uncle Su?" Wei Yunshu mustered up his courage and asked. Chapter 2300. "Yes, of course I do. He's been with me since I was born. I'll love him for the rest of my life." To be honest, Wei Yunshu was quite upset by Pudding's confession. He was a little older than Pudding and Little Bean, so his EQ and IQ weren't low. Naturally, he knew a lot. Although he was still a kid, for some reason, he couldn't feel happy when he heard Pudding say that she liked Uncle Su. "Then, will you marry him in the future?" Wei Yunshu asked in a small voice. "What did you say?" Pudding thought she heard wrong, so she asked again. "I said, you like Uncle Su so much, will you marry him in the future?" Wei Yunshu asked again, a little absent-minded. "Can you stop joking?" Pudding couldn't help but laugh. "What are you laughing at?" Wei Yunshu felt that Pudding shouldn't laugh when he asked such a serious question. "What are you talking about? I like handsome Su, but it's not that kind of love. Marrying him is a romantic relationship. It's not that easy to be a married couple. I like handsome Su because he's the man who treats me and Little Bean the best other than Dad. Even Uncle Jishin and Grandpa aren't as good as him. So I like him a lot. You mean you like Uncle Sue as an elder? Wei Yinshu seemed to understand now. Pudding nodded. So that's how it is. He muttered to himself and secretly pursed his lips into a smile. What are you laughing at? Pudding looked at Wei Yinshu curiously. Nothing. Are you hungry? I'll get you some rice. I'm not hungry. I don't really want to eat. Then we could go to the study. I heard Uncle Gao has a lot of books. Wei Yinshu suggested. That's a good idea. Let's go. Pudding was still a kid, so she immediately followed Wei Yinshu to the study. Tang Chuan looked at the four kids having fun and deliberately teased them. Big brother, big sister. Someone wants to hit on our twins. Shameless. Who's your big brother and sister-in-law? Don't call me that. Tang Chuan. Can you be a little shameless? Tang Chuan called Huamin and Qin Chu's sister-in-law and brother in front of so many people, making Qi Ning very embarrassed. Am I wrong? That's the truth. Not yet. Qi Ning corrected her. It will be in the future. Sooner or later, it will be. Tang Chuan began to act shamelessly again. Gao Ran looked at his son and Little Bean and said with a smile, My son has forgotten the pain after the scar healed. He forgot that he was almost scared to death by Little Bean this morning. He's my wife. Of course she won't hold a grudge. Zhu Lingling teased. Huamin chuckled. You guys sure are strong-willed. How dare you marry our Little Bean? I'm not trying to scare you guys, but Qin Datong and I can't control Little Bean when she gets wild. Don't worry. We'll have to return the goods if something goes wrong. We'll never return the goods? Ha. Don't worry about it. My family likes girls with personality. Zhu Lingling laughed. It seems that marrying Pudding suits our Yunshu's personality. Both of them are introverted. Maybe they'll be together in the future. What do you think, honey? Jiang Xiaowei said as she leaned on Wei Liao's shoulder sweetly. Chapter 2301. Yeah, I agree with my wife. With Pudding's IQ and EQ, our family business will be even better than GK. Wei Liao said proudly. He seemed to be very satisfied with this marriage. You guys are thinking too much. It's just our parents' wishful thinking. It'll be great if they can stay like this when they grow up, but if one of them chooses someone they like, all our efforts will be in vain. Gao Ran reminded them. It's okay. Let nature take its course. It'll be great if it works out. Even if it doesn't, they'll still be very good friends. Jiang Xiaowei was very optimistic. All right, when are you two getting married? Hurry up and have a baby. Wei Liao joked as he looked at Tang Chuan and Qin Ning. Hurry up, don't worry. Watch me. Fuck off, don't talk nonsense. Qin Ning secretly stepped on Tang Chuan's foot under the table. Ouch. My lady, can you be gentler? Are you trying to murder your husband? With this pair of clowns around, the atmosphere was very good. Huamin suddenly remembered the couple beside him. When are you two planning to have a baby? Since you're still young, you can have a baby first and then rest for a while. Yeah, we were thinking the same thing. Chun Jie nodded shyly. Rick, what about you guys? When will you have good news? Tang Chuan asked Rick with a smile. Cece immediately felt embarrassed and stood up awkwardly. I need to go to the bathroom. Why are you running away? Geez, you're even thinner than our Ning Ning, Tang Chuan teased. Cece and I won't think about the wedding for now. We'll talk about it after we've dealt with some urgent matters, Rick answered seriously. Everyone continued to drink and drink. Huamin stood up. I need to go to the bathroom too. You guys drink first. When Huamin came to the bathroom, Cece was combing her hair. Sister Mian. Cece smiled dangerously when she saw Huamin. How are your wounds? Huamin asked. Very good. I don't feel any pain anymore. Even if I press lightly, it won't be a big problem. I'm still young, so I'll definitely recover quickly. Don't worry about me. Huamin nodded. Did Rick say anything about taking you to America? Cece smiled sweetly. Yes, I did. What do you think? Of course I want to be with him. To be honest, I've been living like a ghost without him for the past few years. Sister Mian, I'm not afraid that you'll laugh at me, but I really, really love Rick. I don't want to be separated from him anymore. So I understand. What about your family? Did they agree to let you go abroad? My family is used to me being abroad, but my sister didn't agree. She was afraid that I'd be unfamiliar with the place. She tried to talk me out of it, but you know my temper. I'm willing to do anything for love. I'm even willing to give up my life. You might think that I'm a disappointment, but that's just who I am, Cece said without much confidence. She didn't even dare to look up at Huamin's eyes. Cece, don't be nervous. I'm not blaming you or laughing at you. I'm just worried about your safety. You should know what Rick does for a living, right? I know. He told me everything. Okay, then you should know how dangerous it is in America, where guns are legal, right? Huamin asked seriously. Chapter 23:02. I know. Cece nodded heavily. It seemed like she had thought about this a long time ago and had made up her mind. So, I want to tell you to take good care of yourself when you get there. Don't run around. Rick has a lot of enemies, and someone might try to harm you at any time. You have to stay calm. Okay, I will. Thank you, Mion. Okay, don't be so polite with me. If you need any help, just call me. Although I'm in China, Mr. Chin has been in the States for many years. Second uncle also has some status over there. I'm sure he'll take care of you. Okay, let's go back and sit down. Don't keep everyone waiting. Then, Huamin pulled Cece back to their seats. Okay. Now that we're back, let's start the game? Tang Chuan asked. What game? Huamin was confused. Drinking game. I have a really fun one here. We have a lot of people, so it'll be really fun. Let me tell you, no one is allowed to cheat. Whoever loses will have to drink to their heart's content. It was obvious that Tang Chuan was very happy today. He kept livening up the atmosphere. Everyone was in a good mood as well. Come on, let's see who's who. Zhu Lingling rolled up her sleeves, looking like a tough woman. Huh, Mian and I are good at playing games with our brains. Come on, bring it on. Jiang Xiaowei was also very drunk. When she said this, she raised her wine glass and knocked it on the table. Hey, young Master Wei, your sister-in-law is in the zone today. Tang Chuan smirked. Indeed, it's been a long time since I've seen her face so red from drinking, now that you mention it. I remember that when young Master Wei chased her, they fell in love at the table. And Ai Yang said with a smile, Yes, I'm the witness. Sister-in-law is really a huge drinker. She almost drank Master Wei to death. Tang Chuan stood up excitedly and told everyone about the scene when Wei Liao chased after Jiang Xiaowei, making everyone laugh. All right, let's not talk about the two of us anymore. Do you still want to play the game? Jiang Xiaowei was also embarrassed and urged Tang Chuan. Play, we must play. Come. I will first explain the rules to you. You must listen carefully. Don't say that I didn't explain clearly to the loser. Let me tell you, I will not be the scapegoat. Cut the crap. Hurry up, Tang Chuan. Everyone is waiting. Why are you so slow? Qi Ning's alcohol tolerance was not bad. After a dozen beers, not only was she not drunk, but she was also more relaxed and in a good mood. Listen to me, everyone. When I say 1, 2, 3, and the game starts, I will say, everyone, let's drink. You just have to cooperate with me and say yes. For example, if I say Chuan wants to buy Ning Ning a drink, Ning Ning must say, Ning Ning doesn't know how to drink. Then I will ask, who can drink? Ning Ning can point at anyone and name them. During this process, you're not allowed to slow down or make a mistake. Do you understand? That's it. It's that simple. Jiang Xiaowei looked at Tang Chuan with disdain. Seeing how happy he was, she thought it would be a difficult drinking game. Yeah, it's that simple. But you have to be careful. It's easy to make a mistake. Tang Chuan smiled. I'm the best at drinking games. You kids are no match for me. Zhu Lingling said proudly. Chief Gao, your wife seems to be high. Will she fuck you tonight? Huamin laughed. Dr. Hua, is it okay for you to be so dirty? Gao Ran was speechless. Don't talk nonsense. Come on, I can't wait. I'm going to fuck you animals today. Zhu Lingling looked like she was ready to go all out. She didn't want to leave anyone alive. Immediately, everyone's enthusiasm and excitement were aroused, setting off the climax of the whole scene. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.